90s, we didn't know what we had. TV, movies, back when life wasn't so bad. Life is layered like a cabbage. It's time for movie baggage. Movie baggage. Now it's time for movie baggage. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Movie Baggage, the podcast where me and my co-host discuss movies from our childhood and decide if we were scarred for life by them. My name's Jake Palmer, and with me, as always, is Victoria Lear. Vic, what's up?
Hi. I'm really tired. I'm
Oh
just really
no.
tired. It's okay though. I'm fine. As most millennials, no matter what is going on in my life, I'm just going to describe it as fine and
Cool.
move on. Yeah. Uh I've been excited about doing this podcast pretty much every day since we decided to do it.
Aw,
And I was realizing that I should probably let you in on this secret, Jake, because I don't think you know.
please tell me.
I have essentially stopped watching media and movies for 8 years before you decided to tell me to, like, we should do this podcast, and we started doing this. And it's just sort of this hilarious, like, change in my life of, like, watching nothing but live court streams and the Ocean Gate trials to going back to watching movies that I grew up with. And this one didn't help. Just the other ones, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I was like, I should get back into watching the movies. They're so good.
Yep, this one stopped you cold, huh?
This one has made me second guess a lot of wanting to continue to watch film as an entire genre.
We, of course, are not talking about the movie yet, though. We are introducing
Right.
ourselves.
I can't help myself. I apologize. Again, I apologize. Jake, how are you doing though?
Oh, thank you for asking.
Mm.
I'm okay. I had COVID last week.
Mhm. That sucks.
Yes, so that knocked me out. So I didn't do pretty much anything. But think about this podcast, of course, making it the best it can be.
It's gonna be the very best podcast ever was.
Yes. I tried to laugh it off, laugh off COVID like Patch Adams would, but that didn't work.
Yeah, it's shocking how much laughter isn't actually medicine.
All right, we've introduced ourselves. Let's get into it. This movie is 2 hours long. We don't have time for a long intro.
No.
Everybody, we watched 1998's Patch Adams this week, and boy, do we have some things to talk about.
I was thinking before we went into this, I was thinking about my memories of
Yes.
before.
Do you remember seeing this as a kid?
I I 100% do because we saw this in theaters, which
Whoa.
caused me to do math, which I did not like. I was 10 when I saw this, and that
Okay.
is not the appropriate age to see this movie. I was super engaged. I remember almost everything of this movie. Uh,
Wow. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, that's true. Apology is appreciated here because I remember being super engaged, remembering almost every single plot point, every single thing, and being just devastated by the end of the movie. Like,
Oh
absolutely
no.
wrecked as a kid.
Well, I did not remember almost anything from this movie. I think we might have rented it because I remember nothing except for one part. I'll mention it when we get to it. But wow, this movie. Let's just get started,
Let's
Vic.
just get
Let's get
started because
started.
we can't talk about
Too
it
much. All right.
without revealing everything. So,
So we open on a bus going up into the mountains of West Virginia, I think.
hmm
Virginia or West Virginia. And we got our boy Patch, Robin Williams.
hmm we do get the text that this is based off of a true story.
Yep.
I think overlaid over the bus.
So if you're just going off the movie, this is all true.
I mean, it's immediately engaging. right? Like whenever you hear like based off of a true story, you're like all in. Um,
Yeah.
at least I am. Only to then be like, what? That can't possibly be what happened.
Yeah, well, they say it's based on true story. It is based on a real guy. We start with his trip to a mental institution.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the feeling things aren't quite right with this guy. They don't say what's wrong with him.
Oh, but I mean, with the incredibly what is home depressing monologue that opens, you get like this long, unbelievably deep cutting monologue of like, what does it mean to be coming home? What is home?
Yes, he doesn't. There's a monologue at a bus ride. He says something like the dictionary defines insanity as, let me tell you guys this right now. If you're writing a speech and in that speech you have the dictionary defines whatever word, and then you go build off that, you're writing a shitty speech, throw it out, start over. It's been done. It's overdone. Don't do it anymore.
Was that new in the 90s? It can't have
I
been.
no, no.
They couldn't
Even
have come up with that. Patch Adams didn't come up with monologues starting with the dictionary defines.
I don't do research for this podcast, but I'm assuming that's been around for at least 3,000 years. The
Since
dictionary defines, oh, the dictionary defines the Roman Empire. Like
it's
Caesar was saying it.
it's rough because
You
there
gotta
weren't
stop.
dictionaries until like the 1800s, but that's okay, Jake. You don't do
Okay.
research for this
I
podcast.
don't.
It's yeah, no, he checks into the mental institution and it's unclear why, but there's already I have so many issues.
We haven't even started the movie. He's just pulled up to the mental institution.
It's like he's in a prison, but he has checked himself into this mental institution and they are treating him immediately like as if he's a criminal.
This, I think, is true, Vic.
Is
I
it?
actually agree with this. This is
Mm,
in the 60s. Mental health is very crude.
okay.
I'm sure they probably did treat people like lunatics and, yeah, criminals.
That that part that part was one of the things that I found hard to remember through the movie is they do very little to place it in time, I think.
Oh no, they do.
I don't
Did you
know.
see how many sweaters? How much? Everyone's wearing a sweater in this. This is how you. That's how you know it's the 60s.
Okay, fashion wise, but did you just know how Robin Williams dressed normally? Like he's not that out of character for what he just tends to dress like.
That's true.
I just
We're
don't
not there
feel
yet. We're still in the
okay.
mental institution.
Okay, we're in a mental institution in the 60s. Important.
All right. So almost immediately, he's getting shown around by what do you call him? An orderly, one of the orderlies.
Yeah, and attending. Yeah.
And immediately, and I had no idea how important this part was going to be. Crazy old man runs up to him, shoves his hand in his face, and goes, "How many fingers do you see?" He's holding up four fingers. Robin Williams says four. Guy goes, "You're an idiot, just like everybody else is," and he wanders away. The orderly goes, "Crazy he was about to say crazy motherfucker, which even in the 60s, unprofessional.
Well, but that's part of it
State
too, is
asylum.
like in the 60s, I just don't feel like they actually use, I don't know.
No, they were
Maybe
saying
I'm
crazy
wrong.
mother-fucker for
All
sure.
right. It
We're
just
gonna be
feels
cursing a lot.
wrong.
And
It
trigger
feels like,
warning. Trigger warning. We're gonna be cursing a lot in this one, I think.
I think that's
Everybody
accurate.
know.
Yeah, put it out there early.
But yeah, this guy does the finger thing. That's gonna come back. And then we meet some of the other crazies in this mental institution.
Yeah. Which again, it's like a really shitty portrayal of people who are mentally ill,
Yeah, let's get into some of these mental illnesses. One guy, he just has his arms straight in the air. And he doesn't move.
which like I feel like I know kind of what they're trying to reference.
He's catatonic.
Something that I think you would be in a mental institution for. I feel like you would be in a regular hospital for that.
That's true. It's not like he's bothering anybody. He's just sitting with his arms straight in the air.
It's also like it's a my understanding of that disorder, which is limited, is it's like a neuromuscular issue, not like a mental disorder. Like I mean, sometimes triggered by brain damage, but like a mental institute would not have any resources for somebody like who has that. It's like an offensive way of depicting like somehow even though one flew over the cuckoo's nest is older and that's like actually a criminal institution, I believe, or at least he was going into it for having committed a crime.
Yeah.
Um, that seems like a better depiction of the mentally ill to me than this movie.
No, they're definitely trying to be Cuckoo's Nest in this.
Yeah, like in a way that's like a caricature.
In the way that a guy's trying to take down the system.
Mm-hmm.
But we
Mm-hmm.
go, the orderly takes Patch to meet his roommate. His roommate is hunkered down in his bed, and the orderly says the guy never leaves his bed. He has to stay there, keep changing out his bedpans for him. Bye. And then he locks him in with him. And Patch is like, "Oh, hello, I'm Pat." Or he's not Patch yet. He's Hunter.
No,
He's
Hunter.
Hunter Adams. Says, "Oh, I'm Hunter. What's up?" The guy seems all right. All of a sudden starts screaming, freaking out. Hunter, let's just call him Robin Williams, runs up, starts screaming at the door, "We need help." And they inject the guy, trank him,
In
knock
the
him out
butt.
cold in the butt.
We get the first butt of the movie. There's quite a few.
Uh, you're right, Vic. You're in charge of the butt count.
I'm gonna
This
be in
is the
charge of the
first
butt count.
one.
One butt count. Um, this this movie, and I don't want to get too much into things that scarred us, but this scene caused a real life incident in my life as a child because
Okay.
he was being held down and screaming and was in so much distress. And I had never understood the concept of getting a shot in your butt. So I assumed that the majority of this drama was over how unpleasant it would be to get a shot in your butt. And as a child, I had food poisoning one time that was very, very bad. Ended up in the ER because of the food poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
And this nurse was adamant that I needed some sort of shot of something. And they wanted me to roll over so that they could give me the shot in my butt.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And having seen this movie already, I had an absolute breakdown. Now, admittedly, I was very, very ill. I'd been vomiting for hours. I probably wasn't mentally the most sane. I had almost this exact same reaction in an ER while a nurse and my mom attempted to hold me down to give me this shot in my butt as I was screaming and kicking and panicking.
Of course, you thought you were going to be locked away forever.
I A doctor comes in who I can only use current vernacular to describe this doctor, not unlike Jack Sparrow. Like, I
What?
think he might have been drunk. He comes in, the nurse is like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "What are you doing here?" And
All right,
she was like,
let's paint the picture here. Guy walks in with a goatee, lab
he,
coat.
he
He's
had he,
covered in scarves and feathers,
he had a
leather earrings.
goatee. He had a goatee. His hair looked a mess, and he stumbled into the room as if he was drunk. All of that was accurate. He asked, the nurse asked, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, "What are you doing here?" Which is just
What?
a wild reaction for a doctor to a nurse while I'm being held down, crying, snot tears everywhere. Um, and she's like, "We're trying to administer this injection, and this patient will not sit still." And he grabs the shot from her, kind of making a fist around it, and comes up to me and goes, "You don't want a shot in your butt?" And I was like, "No." And he goes, "Nobody does." And he just punches me in the leg.
Whoa.
And as he punches me in the leg, he injects me with the shot and then chucks the syringe behind him into the sink and leaves. Just fucks off.
I want to see a movie about this guy.
The nurse goes, "Excuse me?" and runs out of the room after him.
Whoa.
I don't know what that was about. I don't know my own little Patch Adams experience, but that genuinely happened. I apologize for bringing the baggage so early, but it was so triggering to see it again that I was like, oh, And then it made this other memory pop up of like, what the fuck was up with that doctor? Like,
Oh man, we're already in the baggage, guys. Wow. We are a minute and a half into this movie and Vic is already scarred. Wow, this is gonna be rough.
it's gonna be rough. I can't express to you enough how much this movie was upsetting to me as a child.
Well, we come to find out the reason this guy's freaking out is because he sees imaginary squirrels. That is why he is shrieking and cannot leave his bed.
Mm-hmm.
We go outside and we're just learning these doctors don't care about these people. They don't care.
No, not even a little bit.
Robin Williams is trying to tell his story to the doctor. The doctor is not even listening to him. He's like a therapist, psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist. The thing that got me here was I was kind of like this sort of concept of talking therapy as like a sort of new medical practice, but would have functionally been listening to the answers. Like the concept of that type of therapy was that there was some sort of information to be gleaned from the answers. So like why is he not even listening?
You don't think no, he wasn't listening, Vic. He talks about jumping around on his penis like a pogo stick, and the doctor doesn't say a word about it.
No,
So
no,
I think they're not listening. They don't care about people, and
they don't.
this theme is gonna be hammered into your fucking brain over and over in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That the system doesn't care about people, but our boy Patch might. We'll
He
get to
might.
that. So we have group therapy time. This is where we get the boys together. We got his four finger guy in there.
No,
He's not
no.
in there, but we got our catatonic guy, his arms straight up in the air. We got Squirrel Boy. Who else?
Alan, to, to, to Dyke? To Dick?
Two Dyke or two not Dyke?
I love him. He's in stuff. He's in Firefly.
Oh, really?
Alan from Firefly. And I don't know. He's fucking funny. He's hilarious. He's really young here. He's in Dodgeball. Great.
Oh, yes, I know who you're talking about.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking
that
about.
guy's in there.
And then some other screaming guy.
Yeah. So they're doing group therapy, and this is what's weird. So the doctor's serious. He's asking questions, and Robin Williams makes fun of the catatonic guy first. He makes fun of him, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like yeah, it's really weird because I think the scene is supposed to be set up like as if Robin Williams is connecting even with the catatonic guy, like
But he's not.
but he's not. He's like just mocking him to the other people.
Yeah. So this is what happens. He makes fun of him first. The doctor is like, please don't make fun of this guy who's catatonic. Robin Williams then does a full stand-up bit all around this guy having his hand raised about who needs to go to the bathroom. Oh, this guy does.
Where's the sky?
Where's this guy? Oh, he knows the answer. And the other patients are loving this. They are cracking up. They've never heard such good comedy. And the doctor just gives up and walks out of the room. He's like, I don't need this.
It was weird. I didn't like it.
He's showing he's a different type of guy, though, this hunter dude.
I mean, he's connecting with the other patients for sure, but just like at the expense of this one patient who
Yeah.
can't defend himself.
We're supposed to think this is nice, and I don't think it is.
It's a
Yeah.
real punching down moment, I
Punching down
feel.
on catatonic people for sure. Now we get to the meat and potatoes of this movie, which is Mr. Fourfinger. Hatch is fascinated by this dude for some reason, and he comes into his room at night and he asks him, what's the answer to the four fingers? And the guy says, you're an idiot. You'll never understand. He notices this guy's coffee cup is leaking. Peels a sticker off of the desk, patches the coffee cup, stops the leak. And then this four finger guy's like, all right, you got a brain. And this part defines the entire movie for some reason. He holds up his fingers and he goes, look past the problem, not at it. And if you look past the four fingers, you get double vision and you see eight fingers. And this is supposed to blow our minds for some reason. And that's the right answer is eight.
Yeah, he's like, look past the problem at the solution. Like, look at the solution, not at the problem. And then you see that there's eight fingers. I mean, on so many levels, it's dumb because there factually are not four fingers. Approaching a problem as if there's twice as much of the problem as there actually is.
Yes, it doesn't solve anything.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't
solve
prove
anything.
anything. It is the ramblings of a crazy person. This is the craziest person in the group, I think.
And I just want to set a little pin here.
And it
The reason why Robin Williams was mostly intrigued by this guy is earlier one of the attending nurses said that he was this guy who was this incredibly wealthy entrepreneur.
no, it was the orderly who called him a crazy motherfucker. He
Right,
he
that same,
explains he explains that he's a brilliant man who was crushed by the weight of his own brilliance, and that's why he's in here.
but they mention a corporation, like as if he's the owner of a corporation, like as if he's the Steve Jobs of the era. And has all this wealth and he checked himself in here because he can't handle his own. And I just want to put a pin in that because it's a throwaway line where they imply that he has all this money,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that approaching him and being interested in him factually had a lot more to do with the fact that he had money.
Oh, maybe Patch Adams isn't so innocent, is what you're saying. He's got
Yes.
a manipulative side.
I just want it to be set, like, the reality that this film is showing us is that Patch Adams specifically approached and attempted to befriend a vulnerable, old, incredibly wealthy man. Just
This
put a
is a
pin in it.
pin. This is a
This is a
pin, not a
pin.
rabbit hole.
It might be a rabbit hole. It's a pin to determine whether or not we're going to go down the rabbit hole.
Okay, we'll decide later.
Yeah,
Right now, it's just a pin.
it's just a pin.
Well, after understanding that this guy isn't crazy, he's got a great four-finger plan. Patch,
Gross.
a great four-finger plan.
I don't like that.
Patch Adams, he's now Patch. That's how he got his name. He patched that
Yeah.
coffee cup. Patch Adams goes back to his room, back with the squirrel guy. Now, squirrel guy can't go to the bathroom because he's afraid squirrels will get him. This
Mm-hmm.
is the most insulting part to mental illness, probably in the whole movie, because Patch discovers that, you know what? If he's imagining squirrels, let's just imagine a bunch of other stuff. And what does he cure him with, Vic? What would you call what he cures him
Squirrel genocide.
with? No,
He cures him with guns and
he
squirrel
cures
genocide.
him. He cures this mentally ill man with improv.
Oh, yes. It
Yep.
is it is a lesson in saying yes. There's a squirrel there. I'm gonna say yes.
Patch yes ends this crazy guy, and he says, if there's a squirrel there, I got a gun. And I shot the squirrel. And the guy's like, whoa, but there's more of them. I got a bigger gun. And I
Mm-hmm.
kill a bunch more squirrels until he's slaughtering these imaginary squirrels until he
Got
says, there's one last one. It's in the bathroom. And the guy runs in there, it kills it. And then we hear the sweet sound of him tinkling in the bathroom.
Yeah. It's all Patch. They were like, I just need somebody to yes and my hallucinations.
Yeah, but it's saying that this guy is just imagining things. This isn't like violent hallucinations he's having, which is what I would assume if you're in a mental institution it is. He's just imagining squirrels, so he can imagine anything. Like this is not real psychiatry, in my opinion. The music does a lot of work in this scene to tell you that Patch Adams is doing the right thing here. He doesn't have any psychiatry background. He has no doctor experience right now, and he has cured this guy and and what would look like two madmen, two full-grown adults shooting imaginary squirrels. The music is swelling and telling
Mm,
us this is beautiful. Patch has really gotten this guy to open up. This is great what he's doing. The orderly looks in, and he just sees two full grown men screaming.
Another day at the mental institution. Who gives a shit?
Patch is like, you know what? I'm cured now. I'd say Patch has been in this mental institution for 3 days max.
Maybe. Yeah,
And he's like, you know what? I figured out your forefinger guy. I cured your squirrel guy. I'm good.
sure.
I'm good. I'm out.
Good to go.
The doctor's like, I don't think you're ready to leave. He's like, fuck you, man. I know more than you do now. I'm going to go help people. I'm going to be a doctor.
But yeah, he just leaves, even though, again, the psychiatrist, who is a dick, like, I'm not going to pretend like the psychiatrist at this place is not a dick. He's clearly disinterested and a prick. But he's kind of like, you're doing this. I think you still need to work through issues. You're doing this against medical advisement. Because, yeah, again, how long's he been there?
I'd say 3 days. We
Yeah.
see him spend 2 nights there.
And he's like, I'm cured. I'm not suicidal anymore. Goodbye.
Not only that, I'm a better psychiatrist than you already, guy. I cured Squirrel Dude.
Right. I'm going to go to medical school because it's just that easy.
Yeah, this is my question. So he just goes to doctor school. Did he already have a bachelor's and master's?
It's really confusing because I also got confused as to what age they're trying to set him up to be because
Okay,
the
okay, this is
movie,
important. This is important. So I did look up the trivia on this. Patch Adams, the real one, was 24 when he was in that mental institution. How old do you think Robin Williams is in this?
oh, oh, that's way younger than I thought. No, I thought he was supposed to be like maybe like 35 to 37 or something like that. They make it seem like this is some sort of early midlife crisis, but not that early.
No, he's 24 in real life at this point. Robin Williams is 47.
He's what?
Robin Williams was 47 when he made this movie.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh. Oh, it makes everything grosser.
Let that color your vision of
Oh,
the rest of this movie. So that gets us into let me just get us into this. So then he sees our guy. He's in the school. He's gonna live in a dorm. This 47-year-old is living in the dorms, and he meets our boy Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, who will be referred to as Philip Seymour Hoffman, because I don't give a fuck what his character's name was. It's irrelevant.
I'm gonna
He's
call him the Hoffman.
oh, that's a good yeah. He shall now henceforth be known as the Hoffman.
So gets introduced to him, and they have this back and forth. Hoffman does not like Patch Adams right away.
We're expected to believe that he's like in his mid 20s at this point. I don't understand it at all because also how the fuck old is Philip Seymour Hoffman in this? Because he's like, you're too old to be here.
I'm sure he's probably pretty young in this, but
He might be.
they had to have that line just because Robin Williams clearly is not in his 20s in this. He's almost 50. So
Yeah.
they had to at least be like, "Oh, he's an older guy coming into school."
I wish there had been a little bit more clarity on what everyone's supposed ages are supposed to be in this
No,
because
no, it would fall apart if you did that.
it's I was assuming that he was supposed to be in his mid 30s. The idea that Robin Williams was in his late 40s doing this is alarming to me.
It's alarming for sure.
It's
I did
alarming.
like one of the main reasons the Hoffman doesn't like him is because out of nowhere he just tells Patch, "I have a scientific award or what a scientific achievement award," and he points to something on the wall. Patch Adams says, "Oh, I got two gold stars as a kid." That was a very nerdy thing to do. Like some dork tells you, "I got a scientific achievement award." Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of the thing that's so weird to me is a huge premise of this movie is that Patch Adams is able to connect with people and engage with people and get people to trust and care about him and find him funny. Like he's supposed to be this incredibly charismatic person, and yet
He's annoying. He is annoying.
he's relentlessly annoying. And it's more like if he sees somebody who is proud of their accomplishments, he pulls them down.
Yeah, he just made fun of him. He didn't like bring him into some comedy bit. He just says, "No, that's stupid, and you're stupid for thinking that's important."
Yeah, like what an idiot you are for being proud of an academic accomplishment because they're meaningless. And it's like I can get on board with there being some sort of conversation about like how meaningful are academic achievements because once you get out of school, it's not like anyone gives a shit about your GPA
This part
anymore.
just wasn't done well.
But it
It's
wasn't
making
done
it
well.
Patch looks like a bully. He's making fun of this nerd with his science, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna say the Hoffman. I agree with Hoffman the entire movie.
Yeah. This is the thing is that and the other thing is that Hoffman isn't even ever mean to
No,
Patch. Like
no,
he includes him in their study group. He does like it's it does not set up as if Hoffman is the bad guy.
but
He's almost always doing what makes sense and is reasonable.
yep, and we don't get enough of him. Uh, that after this argument, he's out, and we see the crazy opening speech of the dean. And man, do we hate this dean, don't we, Vic?
Oh, he's the biggest dick you'll ever see. Human beings are not worthy of trust.
Mm,
You must be molded into something greater. I mean, basically that he's going to beat the humanity out of every single one of these med students. Um,
yep.
because you cannot be human. You need to be like more than human in order to be given the trust of a doctor.
But it's a quick speech. That's basically it. And everyone leaves.
Yeah, I will say on the Hoffmore, like, so this guy is set up to be the villain. I don't disagree with anything he said in that speech.
Wow.
I know. The thing is, so there's different one of the things that this movie sort of just glosses over is there's a really big difference between like what my expectations are from like say a surgeon and my general care doctor.
Yeah.
Like my general care doctor, I want them to have an understanding of who I am and what my lifestyle is like and who I am as a person. My surgeon, I don't want my surgeon thinking about fucking anything besides anatomy or like how to do a surgery. I don't want him to be worried about me. I want my surgeon to be like a stone cold bastard up there. Like I want him to be or her to just be operating as if they're like working on a machine because you don't want a surgeon making emotional decisions.
You don't want him doing like bedpan comedy before surgery? Loosen you up a bit?
But here's the thing is it's like I'm not saying that they shouldn't necessarily have a dark sense of humor or say things like that are like sort of irreverent. It's that I don't think you want certain types of medical professionals to have too great of an emotional attachment to their patients.
As usual, Vic is taking the side of the villain in this movie, and
I
she
really
agrees
do.
completely with the dean. But Patch wouldn't like her, and he doesn't like the dean. So
No,
he walks out, he makes friends with, what's his name? He makes fast friends with this guy.
he makes fast friends with this guy because a woman who wants nothing to do with him rejects him immediately.
Oh shit. Yeah. All right. This is the introduction of our romantic lead. I gotta be honest, Vic, I didn't catch this woman's name until she was almost completely out of the movie. But he's all right, 47-year-old guy. Like literally, Hoffman just said, Hoffman just said, you look old to be in this school. And
Mm-hmm.
Patch, of course, blows him off for that, blows him off, and goes to this class, immediately starts staring at the youngest, hottest woman in class,
Yeah,
literally just turns around away from the lecture and stares at her. She
yeah.
looks and is like, what the hell, guy? And then he comes up, tries to do his comedy on her after class to get a date or whatever. And annoying, again, annoying guy.
And she's just like, I don't know what I have to say for you to fucking leave me alone, but I'm not here to date anybody. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yes.
Cue him being triggered to never leave her the fuck alone ever again.
Yep, of course, she doesn't know what she wants. Patch has
No.
got what she needs. We'll find out.
Ugh.
We'll get into that later.
Ugh. No,
But
but
yeah,
he does immediately make friends.
that's the meet cute with her, and then yeah, he immediately makes friends with this other guy who's just like, man, I thought I got blown off, or what does he say?
He says, I thought I was the only one who could repel women with such raw efficiency.
That's the other thing. The way people talk in this movie, you're just like, what, man? This is what your casual conversation sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. Truman. He meets his friend Truman.
Truman.
Yeah. Truman, who's a good dude.
He's definitely the most likable out of anyone in this movie.
Everyone in the movie, Truman's the most likable. Um, and so then they go off and do some fucked up social experiments on the street.
Patch Adams meets this guy and immediately wants to experiment on strangers with him. And again, this experiment is just annoying strangers in the street. I don't get it, but he's
It's
just,
you don't get it. It's modern day YouTube prank channels. It's modern day live streams.
it is literally an annoying TikToker kind of move, but he's
Yeah.
jumping down from trees and going, hello, eh, and just surprising people on the street. Uh, One woman's just like, okay, acts like he's a freak, like anyone would. And then Patch is like, wait for it, Truman. And she turns around and laughs. Got her.
So, and again, I'm gonna really try to rein in my comments on
Oh, you've been doing a
the
great job of that, by the
the
way.
ingrained misogyny of this whole fucking movie that I did not notice as a child, but that is enraging me as an adult, is that this type of behavior, men running up to you in public, doing something really weird to throw you off and confuse you while you're just trying to go about your day, they almost always do this to women. Sort of the entitlement of, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to go around and I'm going to fuck with strangers. But I don't want to get fucked with myself, so I'm going to pick mostly older and weaker looking women than I am. And I'm going to put them on camera. I'm going to run up to them. My friend's going to hold a camera and I'm going to do something weird in their face. And then we all get to laugh at how they react. Like, just leave people the fuck alone.
I love this. You're right. Patch Adams would be a TikToker this day and age, or at least the Robin Williams version of Patch Adams would.
Like this behavior, if Truman had a camera in his hand, is literally an entire genre of like male prank YouTubers. And it's fucking awful.
And again, the music is swelling. It's telling us this is a great thing these guys are doing.
Yeah, they're changing social dynamics.
Yeah, wonderful stuff. And
Ugh.
Vic, this part is the most random part of the movie. And clearly, I don't know what they only put it in for Robin Williams to do, I don't know, 5 minutes of stand up because they turn a corner and there's a meat convention going on.
Hackers.
Meat Packers convention, and Robin Williams still yes ending. A guy goes, "Are you here for the meat convention?" He goes, "Hell yeah!" Does a brisket have horns or whatever? Some meat pun.
He says, "Does a chicken have lips?"
That's right.
And then he goes, "I guess we'll find out inside." And then there's another one, but the chicken has lips is the one that stuck with me
Yep, that's a weird one.
because that's funny.
And then he goes in, and it's basically just this isn't Patch Adams. This is just Robin Williams doing stand up about meat for a few minutes.
I think that this whole scene was just because Robin Williams had a lot of puns and nowhere to put them because there's signs everywhere with like meat puns, like nice to meet you, shanks for the memories. It's just it's not just the meat puns that he says in his speeches. It's that people are wearing shirts and there's signage and there's banners. I think that
Okay,
Robin Williams himself had a little notebook of all these meat puns and he was like, "Guys, I will do this movie, but only if you let me put in all of them."
I think you're onto something. I bet you this is what happened. He was scheduled to do a corporate event for Purdue Chicken or one of these big meat companies, and they canceled on him. and he had this whole stand-up show he was gonna do that he can't do anymore. And he's like, guys, put in a meat convention. I gotta get this out
God.
there.
I mean, they sort of. God, I hope that is the truth. They sort of shoehorn this thing in as if it makes sense because this is where he gets the idea to steal the white coat of the meat packer and pretend to be a doctor
Oh yeah.
because he's a first year medical student, but he should be allowed on rounds meeting patients. And I think there's also this idea to me that like is so much more grating now is like this idea that you should be able to skip all of the all of the knowledge, all of the work, all of the you should get to skip to the end because I know I'm a genius.
No, there is a whole genre of movie where it is just a man who knows better. We all, the audience knows he knows better than anyone else for the entire movie, and we're on his side for everything, even though he hasn't really shown any aptitude for anything that we've seen. We'll
He's a
get into,
fucking maverick. He's a maverick, Jake.
we'll be seeing this throughout the movie.
The
But
system's holding him back.
yeah, damn the system. But we go into the hospital, and Jolita, this is our African American nurse, and she's going to be very important in this
Mm-hmm.
movie because whenever we start realizing that Patch Adams probably still should be in that mental institution for the way he's behaving, we cut to Jolita and she'll have a smile plastered on her face. And that's how we know this is a good thing what he's doing. I will say
Right.
that the first line Jolita has is disgusting. And I was like, Jolita, what the fuck? She goes, oh, we got a new doctor or medical patient here. In 10 years, he's going to be so full of himself, have to hang a cup under his ass to catch the excess.
Yeah.
Isn't that gross?
Yeah. It's it's rough. It's really there's so many things that are talking about real problems in the medical community, right? And then the way this movie chooses to go about addressing them is like I think we all know now in our current day that nurses are incredibly valuable, intelligent. They're the people who sort of keep whatever department they're in running, right? It's all the nurses.
My mom was a nurse, but this nurse is disgusting. Jolita is disgusting, and then she is the moral compass for the rest of the movie. Uh, Patch sneaks off almost immediately after getting into the hospital and is fucking around with kids, right? Like the first thing.
Immediately, the first thing he does is go into like a children's cancer ward.
Yep, they
Um,
are dying.
and you know, where the fuck is the security?
No, this
Like,
is a strange man in a room full of sick kids, and he just immediately starts. He's not just doing his stand up anymore. He's taking equipment off the shelves, smashing them, smashing bedpans into the
he
ground,
he
screaming and shouting at these kids to get them to laugh.
he
It is
trips over and is wrapped up in an IV, which is now all over the floor. Like,
whoops.
what kid now doesn't have their IV? Like, what kid did you just rip that IV out of? It's madness.
They explain what these are later, but the big eyedropper thing that has the rubber end that he
Oh
takes off
yeah,
and puts on his nose to make it a clown nose. Those are edema balls, they call them. Those are
yeah,
for enemas.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Eh.
presumably an unused one.
Let's
But
hope.
the thing that also gets me is
He
this
doesn't know though. He just burst in.
now
Who
this
knows?
this montage of him destroying medical equipment takes place in what appears to be an entirely glass room in the middle of the floor that has windows like on almost all sides.
Yeah, we can see him.
And no one else in the hospital for like ages is like, is that an insane man
Guys, if you haven't seen the
wrecking
movie,
medical equipment?
yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, he literally has bedpans on his feet, smashing them up and down on the ground, stomping around, screaming the way Robin Williams screams in his different impressions and jokes, and the kids are loving it.
I mean, and it's classic Robin Williams. Like if you want to see some classic Robin Williams kind of gagging around, it's neat. When you put it in the context of what's supposedly happening, you're like, I don't understand how this is happening.
But the
How is
music
no
is
one stopping
swelling.
this? The
The
music
music
is
is
swelling, yeah.
swelling, and we know it's all right.
The kids are
Uh,
laughing.
Eventually, a woman walks in and goes, "What the hell is going on in here?" And he just goes, "Excuse me," and leaves.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I will say in the trivia, this is nice, Vic.
Okay.
Those kids are actually from the Make a Wish Foundation, and they were actually sick,
Oh.
and they had a great time with Robin Williams in the right context of knowing he's a comedian and that he's there to make them laugh. Uh, they had a great time with him, and he entertained them a lot. So that was really sweet.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't assume that they were actually cancer patients. I did assume that the kids were having a good time because, like, it
yeah,
does not look like the kids are acting. It looks like the kids are like, oh, Robin Williams, because Robin Williams is hysterical.
yeah. Let's
I'm,
say this now. We didn't say it at the beginning. I love Robin Williams. There's
oh,
some moves.
yeah.
He is a great actor. He can be very funny. I'm not as big of a fan of his stand-up, and that is the problem. This movie, you gotta love Robin Williams to watch this movie. This movie is 2 hours long. Almost
Mm-hmm.
every single scene has Robin Williams in it, and
Mm-hmm.
he's usually doing some kind of comedy. And if you're not okay with that, this is a rough watch.
And I think that this movie does this unfortunate thing of riding some sort of middle ground of he's supposed to be zany and funny, but it isn't just for kids. And it's this weird middle zone between sort of those two extremes of his like kooky, crazy, kids friendly comedy that's very physical and his stand up, which is not for kids at all. And instead, we end up with this weird shit.
No, the comedy is not good at this, but
It's
there
not
is a
good.
lot of it. It is every scene, guys. I'm telling you, Robin Williams is in 99.9% of this movie. Every scene has him talking to somebody who either is against him or just a background of actors listening to him and nodding along. We get out of the hospital and
He's in trouble.
he's in trouble.
Almost like doing all that shit, you'd get caught.
Yep. Okay. So we're back with the dean, and man, do we hate this guy. He doesn't understand. He just thinks about the institutions,
The liability.
liabilities, and
The fact that, like, maybe if you show up impersonating a doctor in a white coat and patients think that you're their doctor, only to find out that you're just a first year med student dicking around, like, yeah, his intentions were good, but he's still deceiving everyone he's interacting with.
yeah, no, you would think this would be a crime of some kind. But he just gets a warning, and the dean says, "Hey, man, you don't see patients until you're 3 years into medical school." And that Patch is like, "Well, that ain't right."
Mm-hmm. He actually sort of passive aggressively refuses to call him Patch
Oh
and
yeah,
just
that they hammer
repeatedly
that
calls
in.
him Hunter. And I'm like, is this the only reason why I'm supposed to hate the dean?
It
Is because
is.
he won't call this guy by his nickname and he keeps calling him by his actual name
You're
and
right.
is like,
They probably were like, he's kind of coming across as just a sensible guy. Let's make him not use the Patch name, and we'll all hate him for
we'll
it.
all hate him. What a dickhead. He's just a huge dick on his like, and they have some sort of line about that. Like, all you have to do is be a dickhead. And it's like he has to run both a medical school and a hospital. You can't just divorce yourself from the reality of being a doctor where the calls you make and the decisions you make have these ramifications.
Have you
But Patch
watched
Adams doesn't have to do that. Whatever. Like,
Nope.
never has to address the fact that people are like, you need to take this seriously because people's lives are in your hands. Like, I'll never take anything seriously. Finger guns. I'm out.
Yep, he knows better than everyone else. I think this leads to him hitting on this girl again, right?
Oh my. He's
Again, I don't think they use her name for most of the movie.
no, he's calling her hey. He's calling her lots of things. Like,
Hey, hey, you. Is this the part where they see the grades on the wall?
um, no, that comes later because she's worse to him when she thinks he's an idiot. She like gives him a certain amount of respect once she realizes that he's like the top, performer in the class. But this
Okay, well,
interaction really bothered me because she's just like, I don't know you. I've asked you to leave me alone. I'm not interested in being a part of your jokes. No. And his response to that is to make cat noises at her as she walks away.
yeah.
Like, "Rawr." Nothing she said was fucking unreasonable. Do we need to have like a bitchy catty, like, oh, the catty woman?
Nope, she's a real Hellcat.
Like, just leave her. All she's asked is that you, as a perfect fucking stranger, leave her alone. And the response we get is, "Rawr." I,
Yep,
I
she's
hated
wrong.
it. I
She's wrong, and
hated it.
Patch is right. I just have a note here that his shirts are hurting my eyes.
Oh,
His
yeah.
clothing in this, everything about this is assaulting your senses in this movie. And one is he is wearing the craziest clothes. The colors clash so hard. I think he's wearing like a blood red shirt and like purple
Oh,
pants or something. I'm just like
yeah.
sick
It's
to my
rough.
stomach.
I do think that maybe the reason why the grades came up is I think that this cues a montage of his shenanigans of harassing this woman and interacting with her.
Mm-hmm.
Because my next notes are the skeleton gag when they're in the morgue, when they're doing autopsies.
Yeah.
And I remembered this so vividly as being really funny when I was a kid because I was obsessed with the Oregon Trail, the very original Oregon Trail.
Oh, I played that.
It's such a good game. And so the Donner Party thing was really funny to me as a kid. I really appreciated that.
That's an all
Uh,
right one. He says Donner Party of 50 or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
And so he's saying the skeleton's been eaten by the Donner Party.
Um,
That was in the
but
trivia, by the way. The trivia was the Donner Party was a group of settlers who got stuck. Like we, that's not trivia. We know that's just history.
yeah, we
We
know. We
know
know
that.
about the Donner Party. Did you play Oregon Trail? Then you fucking know about the Donner Party. Um, I just my newer memory now, like my newer view on the skeleton gag is just watching a woman trying to like trying to study in class, like trying to do something very like it's not like any of us walking around have done work on cadavers, right? Like this is their first year med student. They're doing work on cadavers.
I
It's
have, but
what?
well,
What?
cat cadavers.
It doesn't make it make more sense, Jake. You've got to add context. You're going to come across as a sociopath.
Oh, I got a minor in biology. If that makes it better.
Oh, it does. Yes. See, that's the context we need.
This wasn't at home. It was in school. Man,
Like,
I had to dissect a bunch of cats. But let's not
okay.
talk about
We're
that.
not talking about your I I liked all of the jokes and then I realized why I thought that was funny was because the inappropriate jokes went over my head. Again, I was 10 when this happened. But the idea of if I were in school trying really hard to work on a class project and some dickhead guy who would not leave me alone came up behind me with a skeleton and kept physically touching me with it and being like, "Oh, I've got a boner."
Not
Like,
just that, Vic. You're like, let's say you're 26 and he is 47.
right, he's literally old enough to be my father and he's making boner jokes at me while I'm trying to work. After I've specifically told him that the reason why I don't want to be bothered is because almost no women get taken seriously in the medical profession.
No, she says that too.
Yeah, like what a prick. Like, how are we supposed to like this guy? It's
No, we love
unlikable.
him. We love him. The music tells us that we love him, and it's she needs to lighten up, whether she wants to or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have anything until we get to the balloon animals. So
Oh, well, I've got just that I think in this
it
it
was hard.
has
It started getting very hard to pay attention.
yeah, we get a the grades
Okay,
and
the grades part is yes, this is where we find out because we haven't seen this at all. They don't
right.
show Patch Adams working on anything other than buffoonery.
Mhm.
And we see on the wall or I think we finally see her name. Her name's Corinne, or no,
Kar-
Karen?
Karen. I think it's
No,
Karen, but they
it's
say it
Corinne. I think
weird.
it's Corinne.
Corinne. Yeah, I think you're
And
right.
she
It's
only
Corinne.
got a C or something. And Patch Adams, he's number two on the list, top grades.
Yeah.
Got like a 98.
Yeah.
So we know he's a brilliant boy.
Well, because otherwise everything he did would be totally unacceptable.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like, and the thing that, as somebody who always did need to study, um, people who make incredibly good grades seem effortless are frustrating. Uh,
Yep.
but the thing that makes it worse, I think, is that he is dismissing, oh, grades don't mean anything. Yeah, well, that's really fucking nice when you're sitting in like the top three and that allows you this extra time. But it's a dick move to like sort of demand that of people who do need to study.
Yeah.
Like it's a dick move. Again, it's fine, but yeah.
It's all about him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Patch decides, I guess actually before he gets into another great hospital scene where he's helping people, I think he talks with Corinne one more time, doesn't he? He this is where he gets her to make a bet or
Oh, yeah. So I think that sort of like the lead up to this is that she is sort of softened by the idea that he's not just a moron. Like,
right.
oh, you're actually a good student. Maybe there's some sort of redeeming quality to you.
So he bets her that if he can make her smile, she has to help him with something or do him a favor, which is a great play with a woman to
Ugh.
make a bet that she have make forces her to do something.
Also, just like the whole, like, why don't you smile for me, baby? Like, it reads
Oh
gross.
yeah.
It reads gross on a lot of levels. Just like,
Except, I mean, Patch Adams is trying to get everyone, no matter what is happening, to smile. So I guess it's not as bad, but I know it.
it's, it doesn't read well.
He is hitting on her.
Yeah.
So, makes a bet he can't, if he can make her smile, she has to do him a favor. Of course, Patch Adams gets her to smile, Vic. He's the comedic genius of the medical world.
As somebody who
He puts an enema ball on her nose.
this scene was just like, oh God, it's cringy. It hurts.
This movie is cringy and
Yes,
hurts.
it hurts. It hurts.
But she laughs. He holds up a mirror showing her with the enema ball on her nose like a clown nose, and she giggles. Got her. So we're breaking back into the hospital.
Middle of the night.
Nothing psychotic about that.
I mean, have you ever, this movie does this a number of times. We'll get to all of them, but this is kind of the first one where I was like really picturing. Have you ever like had to sleep in the hospital before?
Yes.
Okay. So it's very difficult. It's exceedingly difficult to sleep in a hospital. There's usually lots of lights that you can't turn off. Something's making noise. People come in and out sort of unexpectedly.
So the
It's
last thing you meet is so this is at night, by the way, is what Vic's getting at here. And I'm guessing after a long day of dealing with your ailments, the last thing you might want is a noisy clown man doing comedy in the next room. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying is, can you imagine being woken up from your slumber? You're ill, you've been in the hospital, you are, like you're saying, like you have had this long day of maybe treatments or whatever, and you open your eyes and someone has fucking snuck into your room, put a gun in your hand, and
Yep.
surrounded you with enormous balloon animals that are now attacking you.
Yes. So the favor he makes Corinne do with it for him is they make animal balloons break into this guy's room. And hey, was this guy introduced before? I didn't remember it.
No. This and I wonder if there was something that was cut for time because I thought cuz they've been hinting at this guy who's in one of these rooms like 233 or something like, "Oh, don't go near the guy." And so I thought that this was maybe that guy because that has been teased is that there is somebody who's this huge grouch. Um but it's not that guy. This is just somebody who wasn't introduced. They briefly pan his bedside table in the hospital, which is covered with framed photos of him on safari killing animals.
So I missed that part.
It's easy to miss.
So
The
yeah, they put
context
a.
is easy to miss.
So I did enjoy this because they give him a rubber band gun, a gun I used to have. It's like a wooden gun that has a crank and like each notch holds a rubber band, which is fun. And
Yeah.
they're like shoot us or whatever, and they have a bunch of balloon animals, and he gets to shoot them with the rubber band, and they pop. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. Then the guy goes, oh, thank you, Patch. I just wish I had one more safari where I could kill the real thing. I'm like,
Yeah, the
oh,
concept that his last wish is to kill exotic animals in Africa
kill
does
these.
not does not ring sympathetic to my ears.
No, not to me either. And I'm like, well, that wasn't as nice as I thought it was. Like, oh, I've still got the bloodlust patch. I still got it in me.
Sorry, that was yeah, no,
All right.
I'm all right. It's just because it was like to me just the idea of waking up and having all these people in your room and then you have to do that and then it pans over and he's not alone in that room. So all that insanity happened with some little old lady sleeping in the bed right next to him.
Yeah, they have to be a part of it.
Th- I, I would hate this. I
I
would
would hate it
hate
too.
so much of this. Um, but we do get uh sort of the cutaway of the head nurse, as you've said, our moral compass sort of laughing like a oh those crazy kids smiling as if it's the best thing she's ever seen.
Yep, Joletta lets us know. Joletta, or
Let
like
a
Joe let us know that everything's all right.
God, this movie's infecting you.
Well, I think that's a better joke than anything in this movie. But yeah,
Uh,
she lets us know this is not the act of a vicious psychopath. This is great. Everyone's happy because of this.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And then as almost as an aside, he suddenly realizes that they've done nothing for this little old lady.
Yes. And we come to my one memory of this movie. This little old lady wants to bathe in spaghetti noodles.
Noodles. I just have to say that the way that this was asked, like the way that Robin Williams chose to sort of put emphasis on the words he was saying comes across really weird and dirty.
What's he say? I don't remember.
Because he's like, what's your fantasy?
Oh yeah.
What's your what do you want? What do you want me to do for you? What's your fantasy? And he just says it and then she whispers back, my mother used to let me put my hands in the noodles, and I've always wanted to have a whole swimming pool of noodles on my body. You're just like, why is this so fucking creepy?
You're right. It's strange.
It's strange. It's strange.
So I think does this lead directly to the that damn dickhead Dean?
No. It
Oh,
leads to a small rant I have as they're leaving. And
okay. We need to get your rant in, is what you mean?
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Just
let's
give me
hear
a
it.
moment. I promise it won't take too long.
Oh boy.
I'll check how many pages of notes I wrote here. We get to like the first real forced this is romantic between because up until now if you perceived you could have registered Patch's interactions with uh Corinne as friendship, but as the three of them are leaving the hospital Patch is like, goodbye, Truman. Thanks for all your help, man, but stop fucking third wheeling. And Truman's
Oh,
like, oh, okay, I guess I'll leave. And the two of them walk back, and it's just gross. Like, he is flirting with her so hard and trying to like push this, like, I just got a little bit of goodwill. You just sort of stopped thinking of like me as this total asshole. And he just comes on so strong in this, like, we were all friends having done a friend thing, and now we can't be friends because I have the hots for you. And it's like, aren't you supposed to be like several decades older? Like, it's just really forced. And I don't feel like there's been any good chemistry up until now. It's just been him relentlessly badgering her and her eventually giving up and like being like, okay, I guess you're a pretty funny guy.
she is wrong, and Patch Adams needs to prove that to her.
Yeah, it just sucks. It just sucks that Hollywood feels like they can't possibly have a movie without some sort of forced romantic interaction between characters that would have been significantly better just being friends.
Oh, this is a true story.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure. I
That's what
I'm
it said at the
educated.
beginning.
It
It's a
said at
true
the beginning,
story. This
true
all
story.
happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then as she's like, her basically thing is like, well, maybe I don't, like, she basically doesn't reject him. And then he starts acting like, oh, you love me too. And she's like, all I did was not reject you. And he's like, yeah, but
Oh
that's an
yeah,
improvement.
she's walking away, and he's over the moon.
And she's like, you've been very nice to me. You've been very kind to me. And I've never given you any reason to be nice or kind to me, like as if that's some sort of thing. And then he's like, yeah, actually, you've been sort of bitchy this whole
Yeah,
time, but
no,
I like it.
he does just straight out call her a bitch.
Straight up calls her a bitch for rejecting him.
Glad you finally came around.
Yeah, and that's what he's like. He's like, but don't worry, I like that you're a bitch. Like, fuck off. Just let this woman finish med school and leave her the fuck alone. Anyway, um, it's also not yet. I don't think it's yet back to the dean
Okay.
because
What
I
happens?
think I think we have the scene after this where on the high of all of this success, he tries to go into the room like 233 or whatever it is.
Oh yeah. So we got a real grump in this room who doesn't like alternative comedy or whatever.
Who
Whatever.
doesn't like being woken up from his sleep by a strange man singing and massaging his feet?
Oh yeah, that's what he
That's how
does.
they fucking meet.
So there's a guy who's mean and yells at people.
He
Patch
yells at
Adams'
the nurses.
Patch Adams' first idea, icebreaker idea to get this guy to like him. He just starts rubbing him down, and we've seen this before in movies. Not good.
It's dark and the man is asleep. And he sings something like, what is it, like blue skies? Like he's singing.
It's so weird.
And then he wakes up and is like, what the fuck are you doing, man? And he's like, oh, hi, I'm Patch Adams. And I was like, oh, he has never even physically seen you before.
This is their first meeting. He's singing and rubbing him. Man who was sound asleep with some ailment.
Can you imagine if during one of the times, like every time I've had to stay in the hospital overnight, it's been for something pretty dramatic. So
No, it's not just oh, I'll hang out here for the night. This is important. This is bad. You're in a bad state.
you're tired, even if it's something where the outlook's gonna be good, you're probably really exhausted and you're in this strange place that is not your home. And you wake up to somebody singing blue skies while touching your feet. I would be horrified.
I'd hit him over the head with a bedpan. How do you like it, Patch? You love these things. How do you like one in your fucking head?
absolutely insane, I would be kicking him in the face. I would be screaming. I would be like, "Some there's a murderer in here, and they're come to get me." But that's not what his. I mean, his response is reasonable, which is, "Get the fuck out of my room. Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, so Patch has finally failed in this one instance. First
Mm-hmm.
time in the movie, I think he's failed. Guy didn't like the rub down.
I'm sorry. I just you say it one more time.
Guy didn't like the rub down.
Yeah. Okay. I like that soundbite. I am gonna keep that in my brain for a little while.
Okay, you enjoy that. Now do we go to the dean?
Yeah. Yeah, he gets called into the dean now.
All right, this dean still doesn't get it. He's mad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, what is it's just the usual stuff, right?
Well, he's not mad because he's doing all these shenanigans in the hospital. He's
Oh, I
mad because
forgot
he's
this
been
is
accused of cheating.
yeah.
And then Patch is like, who? Who's fucking accusing me of cheating? And we're like, come on, buddy, it's obviously it's obviously the Hoffman.
Gotta be the
Gotta be the
Hoffman.
Hoffman.
He's a real grump.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patch is shocked at this accusation, even though through our eyes, we've never seen him do a lick of work to be a doctor. We haven't even seen him do anything actually medical. He has not done,
No.
there has not been a single scene in this movie, guys, where he shows he knows how to even take your fucking blood pressure. He is just joking and goofing the entire movie. And then, what, you think I'm cheating? Just because I get straight A's with no effort?
Which, like, I think you could have still, like, and this is one of the things that it's really to me more a failure of the writing of the movie because to me, he could have had in any one of these montages sort of his Elle Woods of being at school where the teachers are calling on them for answers and he's just the first one to raise his hand or something like that. Like, it
Elle
doesn't
Woods, for all the listeners, is from Legally Blonde,
a
I
fucking
think.
great movie.
That one
Oh,
might have scarred me. We might do that
oh
one.
God, it's so good. But like it wouldn't have taken a lot of effort to just show that he's maybe nobody sees him studying, but to show that he knows, like, I think the only line I can think of is there's a throwaway line that he has with Corinne where she says something like, I need to go home and read some sort of biology book. And he's like, oh, I can lend it to you. And she's like, don't you need it? And he's like, oh, I've already read it. And she's like, you've read the whole thing? Which leads me to believe that he has a photographic memory because I have known a handful of people like this in my life who like,
You've known a handful of people with photographic memories.
yeah, well, I went to Pineview, which is the nerd school here. I
Oh,
was
that's
like
right. Vic is special, you guys.
I was like the C minus student at a gifted program. Um
Oh,
so I was and that was always the thing that was really frustrating is the program was
were they like Patch Adams constantly quoting fucking books in your face and then expecting you to know the next line?
yes. In fact, it's a
Oh,
little bit worse because usually they'd quote things in French because they just expected you to know French.
oh man.
Yeah. The thing was that it was a school of nerds, and then the cool people become the nerds who don't have to study. Like when you're in a group where everyone's a nerd, then the coolest people are going to be the ones who don't actually have to put in any effort to be pulling the top grade class.
Mm.
And it's really obnoxious because it makes you feel like, oh man, I'm such an idiot. I've got to study. And they're like, why do you got to study? I already read it. I read it during lunchtime. Do you have to look at the words
Aw,
more than
Vic,
once?
you were saying you were the Hoffman.
Yeah, I was, yeah, I was the
All
hot
right,
man.
so let's get it. This is my favorite scene in the movie, guys. This is my favorite scene. Actually, there's one other one that's close to my second favorite. This is the one where I am totally on Hoffman's side.
Mm-hmm.
Patch Adams comes in. He's not silly right now. He's comes in guns ablaze, and he's like, "It was you, wasn't it? You accused me of cheating. Why?" And the Hoffman turns around, very serious, and goes, I come from a family of doctors. I have to kill myself studying to do this. I know everything, but I have to work for it. And I see you goofing around all day
Mm-hmm.
and not having to work at all to achieve it. I don't get that. And Patch Adams is just a straight up dick to him about it too. He
Mm-hmm.
calls him a prick for that.
Well, and he doesn't just say, like, you don't have to study and that's annoying me. He's sort of saying, like, you don't have what it takes to actually survive in this field because you cannot take anything seriously and you're given an enormous responsibility in this career. Like, I know what it takes. Like, he has some sort of line where he's like, to sort of lose a patient and then have to come home to your family.
Yeah,
Like,
see death and then come home and just live with it. And he's like, I don't see that in you. You think this is a joke, which looks like he does treat it as a joke. It's all about joking around and laughing.
literally nothing has ever given the impression that he takes this seriously, besides the fact that he just keeps saying that he wants this.
Hoffman is killing it, by the way.
Yeah.
That's why this scene is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Is they don't give him some dumb line about scientific achievements on the wall or anything. He's playing this super real, super serious, and I'm agreeing with him the whole time, guys. I'm like, Patch Adams is annoying. He
Mm-hmm.
sucks. I wouldn't want to hang out with him. And this guy gets it. Hoffman knows what it takes to be a real doctor. That's what I got from the scene.
Well, and he brings up the first part of like, if you were dying of your illness, do you want a doctor who's just going to crack jokes at you, or do you
Yeah.
want a doctor who studied their ass off to know every single thing about what you are going through? And he's like, and you'd pick that doctor who's lame every time over a clown who doesn't pay attention to what's going on. And he's like, and you would pick him too.
And what's crazy about this that's so good, great callback or great recall pick. That is such a good line. And I think Patch Adams just says you're a prick and walks out. They don't give him like a really good rebuttal to it. So you there is
There's
none.
no rebuttal. There's no rebuttal. It doesn't, he's right. And it's like, if you're trying to tell me narratively that Patch Adams is this genius and he is somehow studying, yet his roommate never sees him studying, he never is shown in class to know the answers to anything. If he said anything that led us to believe that he understands the conditions that these patients are going through, like if he
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
we've already said he doesn't refer to anything medical in this entire movie.
ever, Hoffman's belief that like it's suspicious that you would get these high grades only on tests when nothing you do ever indicates you have this knowledge is reasonable.
Yep, I'm on Hoffman's side.
I'm on Hoffman's side. As somebody who had to study their ass off to pull the mediocre grades that I got, like if he has all this endless compassion for all of these patients, why can't Patch have compassion to his classmates who have to study? Like, why is that impossible? He's just like so against the concept of the institution that, like, what, no doctors should study ever?
No, he's always right, Vic. And if you're disagreeing with him, you're wrong.
Right, right. It's insane. Anyway, I'm on board. I'm Team Hoffman.
I wrote in my notes after this is just so much Robin Williams, guys. This is so much Robin Williams. I don't think I can remember a movie where the main character is in every single scene. I've already said it. I'm not going to hammer it anymore, but he's in every scene.
It's rough too because it never gives you the perspective of what people think of him as time is going on. Like a few scenes with some of the characters talking amongst themselves without his presence. Like
No,
because
we
Hoffman,
don't even get that. All we get are
no.
cutaways. Cutaways of people smiling when Patch Adams is doing his bullshit. That's all we get to know that everyone's on board with whatever the fuck he's doing.
Right, like a handful of scenes of like the
We gotta keep moving, Vic. This is taking too
sorry,
long.
sorry,
We gotta
sorry.
keep moving. All right, this is do we get to oh man, this part of the movie. So the our mean deed for some reason, or I guess this is a setup, I don't know, but he says we got a group of esteemed gynecologists coming to town.
Wait, wait.
What? I what?
You're skipping how he
I want to get to this part.
I know, but he shows up to the guy, the grouchy guy dying of pancreatic cancer, dressed as an angel
Yes,
and
this
just
scene
starts.
sucks. It doesn't make any sense. Do we even need to spend time on it? Like what?
No, okay, fine. It's fucked
He
up.
gets he gets the grump on his side by dressing as an angel and doing oh eat like different terms for dying. Like I
Yeah,
don't get it at
and
all.
then he loves the guy so much that they decide to go out on an adventure, and the adventure they decide to go on is they say we're going to go to the maternity ward because we know they put out.
That is a straight up Robin Williams joke. That is there's the only reason that's in there. I'm sure
Okay,
that's in his stand up.
it's the
But
worst.
anyway, he gets the grump on his side. We get more smiles from Joletta, so we know he done good. Now let's get to it. The
Yeah,
dean assigns, of all people, Patch Adams to welcome the esteemed group of gynecologists to the school.
yeah,
Patch Adams turns to his buddies, like, "What are we gonna do, guys?" They all turn around and say nothing. We want nothing to do with whatever you got. And
yeah.
rightfully so. Because what does he do, Vic? Let's just get to it.
He makes absolutely enormous paper mache legs so that the door is the vagina.
Two legs on either side of the entrance to the auditorium. These female legs are 100 feet long, do you think?
They're based off of the building, they're like 3 stories tall, which
Massive.
leads me to believe no way that he was capable of accomplishing this alone. No way the school would not have seen these being put up
This is
long
like a
before they were
massive
erected.
construction project.
There's guidelines, there's guide wires to hold them up and stable in place. Um, I will say that there is a pun that I chuckled at, which is
Oh,
uh,
don't tell. Please don't tell me it's what I'm thinking.
it's dilated to meet you. I liked it.
Instead of what?
Delighted to meet you.
Oh,
Dilated to meet you.
okay. I was worried you were gonna say you liked at your cervix.
No, I mean it's fine. At your cervix is
That's
is
fine.
it's fine. I mean,
That's an
as
old. That
somebody
joke is so old, Vic.
who's got a cervix is pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
Okay, I guess yeah. You can I guess it doesn't relate to me.
Yeah, if you
I've heard
first
it. I've heard the joke before. This is like I feel like they came up with this joke in World War II. But all right, you liked it.
wasn't there, I liked it. Fresh to me. Um, I'll say that the all male gynecologists coming out is like such a real statement of how bad women's healthcare has been for so long. Like the fact that not a single one of those gynecologists was a woman is real and painful.
Do you think they were trying to make that statement though, Vic?
No, no, I
This is all
absolutely
about Patch
don't.
Adams right now.
No,
This is
that
not
statement was inadvertent. Was
okay.
inadvertent. But I
Okay.
was on this.
There's some things you can glean from this if you
I was
want.
on some good feelings about it
Okay.
until Patch then gives his little speech, them all coming in, like of he says something along the lines of like to these great men who have touched so many women or some grossness like that. Like he makes them sort of like welcome and they should come in because they're welcoming them for having touched so many women. I just
And
oh,
again, this is comedy where you're aiming for bringing people happiness and delight. This is like a fifth grader hearing that gynecologists are coming and the most immature, dumbest jokes possible. I don't even know what is he trying to achieve here.
I mean, I guess he's just trying to have it like because that's what he defends himself later is like they can't take a joke, they can't just not take themselves so seriously.
You cannot take yourself seriously. That's his mission in life.
I don't mean to bring this down again to misogyny because like I'm gonna
Oh boy, sorry, misogynists out there. You're taking a lot of hits from Vic today.
sorry, I am here to make a statement, which is that like look,
Oh, well, stop. Now it's time for Vic's statement of the week. You have the floor.
oh well, thank you. Um, here's the thing. Uh, Gynecology and medicine in general being a entirely male dominated field. is something that as a woman we pay for every goddamn day because medicine is not studied or geared towards women's bodies. It's been studied by men, and most of the subjects of study have been male. So there's just a big disconnect. And that's pretty well documented by people smarter than me. Gynecologists who are male, current ones, like if you ever, not that you would ever have one, Jake, because you don't have the right equipment, but if
No.
as a woman who has had a male gynecologist, they work extremely hard to remain excessively professional, exceedingly serious to make sure that like every aspect of what they do is making you feel completely comfortable with sharing a
So
very vulnerable
you
part
don't
of
want
yourself.
you don't want your gynecologist to go hello in there and they're echo echo.
Yeah, absolutely fucking don't.
Hello,
Like
hello, hello.
the idea that like, and I was kind of like not super against it, even though the legs were super immature. I was like, okay, maybe I can. It was really the weird little speech he gave that implies there being some sort of sexual gratification from getting to touch so many women is like, I can have a sense of humor, but the person who's the butt of that joke is actually is the woman who's actually vulnerable to these men. And I feel like so much of this humor is like I don't like it, and I understand that I'm taking it more seriously than the people who wrote and laughed at these jokes intend me to, but it's a big problem. Like you don't want your gynecologist to be joking about, oh, and I wonder what the flavor of the week is. Like fucking I don't want weird off-color comedy about somebody who is dealing with my vaginal health.
No, this part is terrible. And it literally is setting up Patch Adams to look like just some jerk on the corner telling you street jokes. There's no whimsy. This is legit just these guys study pussies. This is hilarious.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is it's like, and especially on the tail end of the maternity ward, at least those chicks put out, it's like,
Yeah.
fuck, man.
So again, so this is back to back. We got Hoffman telling this guy, "You're joking around too much. You suck." And right afterwards, we're getting this kind of humor that is pointless, doesn't really make any kind of statement other than you are super immature.
Right.
And this, where does this get us? This gets us to,
Well, he just, like, he can't keep it together, right? Because he
oh,
was
he
just
goes, we're
told,
back at the, this is where he
yeah,
gets kicked out or he's going to be expelled. And again, I'm on the team side. I'm on everyone else's side but Patch Adams. This is totally inappropriate. You fucking had an assignment. You totally tanked it just to make a quick joke. Didn't
mhm.
help anybody. No one was hurt and got healed by your laughter. This was just a fuck you to these guys. You're out. Patch is like, you're an idiot. You're a dick. Is this where he calls him a dick?
I think it's where he calls him like that his only job is to be a dickhead. I think
Yeah.
maybe this is where it is. But then he talks to some other dean that's like a higher.
Right. So we got multiple deans in this movie.
So now there's just suddenly a bigger and badder boss dean that still likes Patch Adams,
We got
although
a bigger dean. He's also nicer.
that's not explained why this dean likes Patch Adams.
This dean, he gets it. All right. He's
Right?
not
Yeah,
some uptight jerk from the institution. He's a little bit more down home and country. He's got a mustache. We like him more.
yeah, he's more cool with it. And that dean is just like, can you just lay low until you
Yeah.
graduate?
And
The answer is no.
the answer is, of course, no. And then is this when we get to the diner?
Um, I think there's yeah, it's like
No,
it's like
wait. We forgot. We forgot. When he's getting yelled at by the mean dean, he crosses his eyes and does the four-finger thing. And he goes double vision on him,
right.
which I that means the dean is a problem that needs to be eliminated. I don't know what that
Look
means. I
look
don't know how
past.
he's the problem. Look past it. I guess this just means Patch isn't going to let this get him down, and he's
Yeah.
still right. That's the. I think that's what it is. he's still right no matter what this guy's saying.
Right, which is like the true, like any true narcissist. We're not going to look at any of the consequences of our actions. We're not going to listen to any of the people who are around us. We're just going to ignore what's in front of us and bullheadedly believe that we're correct.
All right. Yes. So Patch Adams not going to be held back. So
Mm-mm.
he's eating at a diner with his buddies and they're talking. And this is, remember this, because this is going to be my statement at the end of the podcast. But this is where we get to some real shit, not just joking around about making people heal by laughter. They're talking about how much hospital fees cost, how much medical care costs. That's when we get people at the diner talking about real issues about how they had to have a sprained ankle and it cost them thousands of dollars. And, why can't healthcare be free? And these issues are real that can affect millions of people. They talk
Yeah,
about it for about 30 seconds, and Patch Adams is just fucking around with stuff on the counter.
the like the woman behind the counter at the diner has this great line of just the government should pay for health insurance. And I just internally I was like, "Amen, sister." Like, "Oh god, it hurts.
Right. So they're
It
talking
hurts."
about this.
But that's not the
Patch
solution
Adams,
Patch wants
Patch
to make.
Adams is I he's just putting together a napkin holder and a horn. He has a horn for some reason, and he makes this thing, and he goes, "That's it."
This
Everyone's
is
like,
the solution.
"What the fuck are you talking about, Patch? This is it." He's decided he's gonna build his own clinic.
Right. So he steals the napkin holder and some cups and runs to a bench and
Yeah,
makes
he runs out of there with them.
makes uh Corinne come and meet him in her pajamas on this bench outside while they're and he's making her write down his manic ramblings.
Oh, that's right,
Um
Corinne, get over here. I'm having a brilliant episode.
right, because despite the fact that she's also an accomplished doctor, she needs to be his secretary in this moment, Jake. She needs to take his notes.
Well, she pretty much gives up any thoughts of being a doctor and decides she's only helping Patch from now on. And
She
yes,
she's like sitting there taking down notes of fun hospital with game rooms. You don't need notes on that.
he's
No one
talking
needs.
about, he's like, there's going to be secret doorways and passages in this hospital. Like, what are you talking about, man?
So, one of the other things that stood out to me in this moment, because it was such a weird jump between these patrons at the diner expressing real and tangible issues with like dollar amounts attached to their problems, like this
Yep.
very real issue, to his like insane ramblings of how he's going to fix that by just having a free hospital where nobody pays. And the only tangible thing that he says as to how that's going to function, like that's going to be a cost cutting measure of how they're going to achieve that.
Probably the arcade.
No, he says they're not going to have malpractice insurance.
Yeah.
That's the only, like, oh, there's going to be slides and swing rooms and we're not going to have any malpractice insurance. What?
I don't get that either. And they come back to that at the end, too. But okay. So we're, we got to get to the clinic. He I love this part, Vic. So he drives out to the mountains of West Virginia
Yeah.
with Corinne. And what would you do in this situation, Vic? I drive you up into the mountains. I tell you to close your eyes. I slowly lead you to the edge of a cliff. What
So
would you think?
remember,
What would you think?
remember, remember how in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles you were like, you wouldn't just bring some stranger off the street into your apartment, would you?
I did. I did ask
Um,
you that.
and then I was like, I've done that.
Please tell me you didn't let a guy lean into a cliff while having your eyes closed.
On a first date.
Oh no, Vic.
And the whole time I was like thinking to myself, you're never supposed to go to a second location.
Yes, your instincts were right.
It was an abandoned rock quarry
Oh, Vic.
in like sort of upstate Massachusetts, like outside of Boston. I didn't know the guy.
Literally the body dumping glory, I'm sure.
Yeah, and to be honest, like he turned out to be a very toxic person to have a relationship
Oh,
with.
no shit.
Uh and in that date there were all these red flags that I as like an 18-year-old did not know how to identify besides just
Oh,
smiling and laughing and letting this much more charismatic older guy like drag me around to various places. It's fine. Um but like yeah, I did do that, and I shouldn't have. And yeah, when I opened my eyes, I was standing at the edge of the pit over this rock quarry
my God, Vic. We're
in
lucky
the
to have
middle
you. I'll just
in the
say
middle
that.
of the night. In the middle of the night, it was so late at night. It was pitch black, and I was standing at the edge of a rock quarry.
Oh my, okay.
So I
Oh
apologize,
my
but
God.
Jake, yet again, you have picked on something where I think this movie maybe normalized that for me.
Wow. This, oh my God. The things we get to learn about Vic in this podcast. I swear, guys, I don't know any of this stuff. Like, this is just random comments, and we get even more
I
from her
I
past.
I've let
I'm literally grateful to have you here. I'm grateful you're still alive.
it could have been a 48 hours episode, but here I am.
Bitch of a glory. All right, moving on.
Well, this brings me to the thing I put a pin in earlier.
Oh, let's pick at that pen.
Let's pick at the pin because he's looking at huge amount of acreage in this beautiful
This is very strange. I also was wondering. So we're looking at a full mountain range when he says, "This is
right,
where I want my clinic to be."
right. So like a couple things that make no goddamn sense. One, no one fucking lives out here.
Nope.
Who's nobody needs a like I'm not saying that there doesn't need to be rural hospitals, but like the patients, what? They're going to hike through the wilderness to get to you? Like why? Why would this be your location? And then the bigger question that came most immediately is where's he getting this money? Oh, don't worry, because here comes crazy four fingers guy.
Mr. Four Fingers is back. I guess he got tired of living in the mental institution. He just comes out.
I'm assuming that Patch Adams has been in communication with him because
Okay.
obviously they've been talking to buy this land that he owns to put this on. And the attorney that's with him is like, you should really not be doing this. You have checked yourself out of a mental institution and are now going to hand over millions of dollars worth of real estate to a guy that you briefly met in a mental institution who just wants it from you.
And what does he say to him, Vic? What's his answer? What does he say to Patch about
Oh,
this?
he asked Pat if he studied proctology to deal with this asshole.
Yep. Once again, this guy's an idiot because he's disagreeing with Patch and his plans. All right. So the clinic does not look nearly as nice as we thought it would, right? Like he had a silver kind of napkin holder with a big horn on top, and we
No, it's
get
a
a
shack.
shack. We got a
It's a
shack.
shack.
It's a shack in the woods of West Virginia. Real fixer upper.
Oh my God. Totally terrifying. And then just the whole concept of that they're going to be able to run this hospital collecting no money, asking for no money, and that the way they're going to do that is by not accepting insurance and not having malpractice insurance.
I don't do any research, as you know. Free clinics exist. I'm assuming he's getting this through money through donations, but they never explain that.
So he mentions, and this is part of like his rambling, that it's going to be like during all this rambling, it's going to be owned by the doctors. It's going to be like a doctor owned hospital, and doctors are going to come because they want to heal people.
Okay.
And essentially, that the doctors will sort of work for free because they want to heal people. And this
Okay.
triggered a little bit in my brain because, even
You
so,
got
this
triggered again?
I got triggered again
Oh
because
no.
this is, in essence, real, like you were saying, except it's no longer real. because in 2010, legislation came down making it almost impossible for doctors to own hospitals. They made it
Mm,
illegal for doctors to own like a shareholder stake in any sort of hospital that they could refer patients within, along with a few other things. But it essentially, physician owned hospitals were gotten rid of under the belief that, oh, it's a conflict of interest and they're going to cherry pick which patients they want to make. And they got rid of them, which has, I believe, been a disaster. Doctor owned hospitals did have lower costs, lower wait times, and better outcomes for patients. Like that was statistically true of them compared to corporate owned hospitals. But what we have now instead in our beautiful version of the healthcare hellscape is that a huge number of hospitals have been bought up by insurance companies. So it's even worse because the kind of the dream of Patch Adams of doctor owned hospitals, which was already real before Patch Adams decided to do it, is dead now. You can't have a doctor owned hospital anymore, even though they were better.
well, Vic, if I were part of that board of committee or whatever that decided that, I would have also voted to close these hospitals
Well,
because
if
the
it looked
way
like
Patch
this
Adams
one,
runs this is ridiculous, and I would be
mm-hmm,
totally against it. He has a shack. It is not a great place with game rooms and hidden passageways. It is a
no,
shack in the woods. They have a lovely. I'm not getting into the montage. All right, we can't.
it's a
There's a
horrible
montage of
montage.
fixing it up.
It's a horrible montage, which also shows them finding patients, like how they get their patients, and their patients who can't afford, like who are lined up outside of overwhelmed free clinics
I said we weren't going to get into the montage, Vic.
that don't speak English. Like it's just a montage of him collecting the extremely vulnerable and then bringing them back to this shack in the woods.
Again, we don't see any doctoring here. These people, we don't know what's wrong with them, what diseases they might have. They're all crammed into this little building. It's ridiculous. Like, who's getting better here? They're in the middle of nowhere, like you said. They're miles away from civilization, and they're all sick.
And the only one who appears to be doing any doctoring is Truman, who's being worked into the fucking ground.
Yeah, fucking Patch Adams is clowning around as usual,
Mm-hmm.
making jokes to people while Truman's running back and forth, making splints out of belts because he doesn't have any supplies.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
it's sort of like relentless, and that's when it dawns on me that this was not a time skip because at that point in the movie, I was like, he hasn't graduated yet.
Right. So that's the thing. So he has a clinic where he is treating patients. This is important, guys. And let's move on. But he is
He's like
treating
a
people in
second
the middle of
year,
the woods as a student in a
like
medical
not
school.
even a third year med student. He's like a
He
second
can't even
year.
look at the patients yet.
It's insane. But one thing that happens before
Oh my
uh
God, Vic, we have to keep moving.
no,
What?
well, but it's the next main point is that the guy comes in who
Okay.
he's seen in the ER. This kind of middle-aged white guy who's also depressed and Patch
Okay,
Adams
yes, sorry.
recognizes
This is
him.
important and
This
I'll
he
cut out the
comes
part where I
in.
interrupted you.
Oh, thank you.
All right, go ahead.
He comes in and it's like he's Patch Adams from the beginning, right? He's this kind of doesn't know where he's going with his life, depressed, middle-aged white man who is in and out of hospitals with mental illnesses. And Karen is immediately like, he's creepy and something's wrong with him. And Patch is like, no,
Nope.
we've got to give him a chance. We've got to like connect with this guy.
And they quote, he knows he's a good guy because they quote books to each other.
Fucking and God protect us. God protect us
God
from
help
all
us.
God help us from middle-aged white men who just feel like life isn't going the way they want it to. God
All right.
protect us.
So yes,
because
we
that's the only thing we know about this guy is that he's kind of depressed
no, he
and
says I got some mental problems, guys. He
yeah,
says that. And we're just like, well, come on in and hang out with us. We don't care.
hang out in this
Perfect.
fun house.
Good doctoring.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
anyway, I wanted to get to okay, I know because I know you're gonna want to talk about this.
Ugh.
The part where we get to Corinne's problem. And this is why she's not hooking up with Patch Adams right away. Of course it's her fault, not his. She has issues.
She's got issues, and Patch Adams can fucking fix her. I hate
Mm-hmm.
this.
I
I
knew
hate
you would.
this.
I wanted to give you enough time to get into
Oh, I hate this so much. Thank you, Jake. Thank you
this.
for saving me from myself so that I
Mm,
have time to talk about the absolute bullshit that is repeatedly pushing advances on somebody who's not interested. Because his little sad, whiny, what are we? What is this? And it's like, if you're going to tell me that we've gotten this far into the movie with all of your little montages and she still is not wanting to move further in a relationship with you, can't that just be allowed to be? Can't she just be allowed to say no and keep this behind boundaries she feels comfortable with? No. Patch needs to know the reason why they're not fucking. And the reason is childhood sexual assault.
they don't say it, but it's heavily implied. She says, men have always been into me. Always.
Always. Men have been pursuing me always.
Yep.
And I'm just going to be so honest. This movie handles this just gross. But the way this movie handles this, of like, here's a woman who's telling you that basically because of these experiences, she doesn't really feel comfortable having a intimate relationship with any man. And Patch Adams is just like, I can fix that. Gross.
Yep. He's got poems and shit to read her.
Leave her alone. Like, just let her. Why does she need to be fixed? Why is there anything that needs to be fixed about her? Why can't just the idea that I don't want to pursue a sexual relationship with anyone not just be the answer? She's allowed.
Nope.
It's
Nope. You have
no.
to loosen up. That's Patch's whole lifestyle.
Well,
You have to loosen up.
and so
Everyone does.
he goes to his standby of sneaking into people's rooms when they're asleep and sitting at the foot of their bed doing weird shit to their feet. Like that's he's like, I know what'll make this woman who's been the victim of sexual assault feel better. I'm gonna sneak into her room at night and touch her feet and read her poetry.
Yep.
Fucking creepy. And at first, I wasn't sure if the scene was supposed to imply that like they had the conversation and now she was fine with physical intimacy and they had sex, which I don't know. Like it could have, but like it doesn't seem like that's what it implied because he talks about watching her sleep.
I don't know, Vic. It's very open ended. It cuts to them waking up in the same room, her in bed, him reading her poetry. I guess at the very least they're romantic now.
I don't like
We
it. Yeah, like I don't like it. Um, and then Truman comes in and is like, sorry to interrupt whatever the fuck you guys are doing, but there's literally no medicine or bandages or anything in this hospital.
that's right. So
Our
what do
clinic
we
has
need?
nothing.
Well, Patch takes what he wants. So we're breaking into the hospital and stealing this stuff from him.
We're just gonna rob them. That's
This
fine.
again, no work really to make this okay. There's barely any like
Well, there's nothing that makes it okay, but there's also just like that isn't actually a solution, right? Because they can't just constantly be robbing an
no.
actual hospital. Like he's come up with this business plan and he's presumably got this financial backer and these other med students to like be on board with running this clinic, but he has actually no business plan for how they're going to sustain the hospital with basic materials.
Yeah, no, it's a shitty clinic in the woods, guys. There's no getting around it. They don't even try to make it seem good. So yeah, he goes in and he starts stealing this shit. And
Mm-hmm.
now let's get to a part that I forgot.
Yeah, you forgot this. When
But I'll tell you this, my heart sank when this scene started because I think I remembered in the back of my head. We got a dark scene, Corinne at her home, and the phone rings.
Mhm.
That crazy dude who said,
Oh,
"Hey, I got mental problems,"
Larry.
calls her, Larry
Yeah,
calls her, not the clinic, it's her house. Says,
yeah, it
I'm
is. It is her house, right? Like it was hard to
has to be
tell.
hers.
I mean, it didn't look like the front desk of the clinic, but it's a voice message.
It was a nice house. It wasn't a shack. So I assume it was either at the school or her home phone number.
don't know. It could have it's hard to know if that was just a continuity error because I was like,
Either way, Corinne, our girl who doesn't trust men, we just found that out, takes this message from Larry that he's having mental issues at his house and goes to his house alone. And Vic, I didn't have any memory of this scene, but I must subconsciously have it because I went, she doesn't fucking die now, does she?
mhm.
Guys, she shows up to Larry's castle. Larry lives
Evil. He lives in an evil castle. A dark and stormy night in an evil castle.
yeah, it is
Mhm.
straight up a giant stone castle with double doors, big double doors, and
Iron
she
gates.
does she let herself in? She just goes in.
Yeah, she knocks on the door and nobody answers and the front door is unlocked. And
Yep.
then she hears piano music of Fleur de Lis, which is creepy as shit. And it's just like the whole idea that this would be something that you would do, right? You don't know. Like, she had no idea this guy lived at this house, besides the fact that presumably he left his address, but like, she's just going into a house. It's
Yep.
not, and it's so, the whole time they're portraying this as if she doesn't want to be there. She doesn't think that she should be there. But Patch has been like, we have to be the ones to reach out to these people.
Yep. It's Patch. Patch's influence. So she says, "What's going on, Larry? Are you all right?" And he's literally like the Phantom of the Opera playing a grand piano by himself. Oh, I'm fine. Fine now. Let me take your coat.
And then the answer should have been like, when he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine, out of there. Okay, goodbye. And then left immediately.
Throws her coat in the closet, closes the door, blackout.
Mm-hmm.
Patch gets a call. Actually, can I just say that was my favorite scene of the movie?
Was was the murder?
Yes. Do you know
Wow.
why?
Because you like horror movies?
Well, that. It's also the only scene in this movie that has two characters interacting without Patch Adams in it. And that makes it my favorite scene.
You're completely fucking right.
Can you think of any other movie like that? There is not a single other scene where fucking Patch Adams is goofing around in it.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. It's the only scene. The
The
only scene that
only break we get.
doesn't have him. It's brutal. I mean,
Unfortunately, it is when the female lead gets murdered.
yeah, it's also the only scene of consequences.
Yeah,
Like, it's the only scene where Patch's philosophy faces the consequences of, like, oh, wait a minute, why are there protocols in hospitals?
right.
And again, like, the statistics on especially female healthcare providers, like nurses, female doctors, and attendings and whatnot, that get physically assaulted by patients is really high. And now some of that is not entirely like some of that's not people's fault. Like, some people wake up on from whatever drugs they're on and are dazed and confused and just attack anybody in front of them, female or otherwise. But like, the whole idea that he wouldn't even listen to why any of these policies could possibly be in place because they're just wrong. He's right and the institution is wrong. And there is no middle ground where some of these policies might exist for a reason.
And I will say, guys, I looked it up. This character does not exist in the real story. Corinne is completely fictional.
Mm-hmm.
This is Hollywood hogwash, as we like to say on Movie Baggage. Totally made up. That's why. I mean, that made me feel a lot better, at least knowing that a woman wasn't actually murdered. But it does just show you the bullshit Hollywood will put into a true story.
So when I looked this up under the real Hunter Patch Adams information,
Yes.
it said that a friend of his, just a friend that he had known in medical school, did die at the hands of a deranged patient.
Whoa.
Not while they were in medical school, at least not from, and the person was not, he was not romantically involved with this person. It was just
Okay.
he did know somebody who that happened to, which is a real far cry from my personal love interest when running this illegal shack hospital with, and it's one of our patients. Like, honestly, the whole romantic angle just didn't exist in the real Patch Adams life, and I wish
Yeah.
it didn't exist in this movie.
No, you can tell it's total bullshit. It's all made up. So that's why we can laugh about the murder now. So we Patch gets a phone call. He's got to see the dean again. Another dean scene.
Oh, it's the nice Dean, though.
It's
It's
nice
the.
dean, but Patch Adams always thinking about it's about him. Goes,
Mm-hmm.
it must be about that heist I pulled at the hospital to get those bandages. They're gonna be mad about that me stealing for some reason.
Why would they possibly be so angry?
He shows up to the good dean. So he says, I can explain what happened. And the dean says, Corinne was murdered last night.
Yeah.
You just said you can explain that? What happened? But no, the dean like, that rolls over the dean. He doesn't care. He just tells him, look, sorry, your girlfriend was murdered by some psycho. This finally we get to see Patch Adams is bummed out. This might be the first time.
Yeah, and I still hate it. And I still hate it because he's not taking accountability still.
Well, he
He No, he's still being a fucking coward. And I can't take it. Yeah, like cuz it's so cuz here's the thing. This woman trusted you and followed you and even expressed to you that it was really dangerous and nerve-wracking, and the fact that he was throwing away all of the foundation of like what medicine looks like, she has major concerns with that. That is dismissed and pushed aside, and now she's dead. And Patch Adams doesn't even have the goddamn decency to be at her funeral while we're getting shots of Truman and Hoffman like comforting her grieving mother, presumably. And Patch Adams is hiding behind a tree.
he is literally, guys, he peeks out behind a tree.
And
He was hiding.
Hoffman sees him and gives him like this look of like grief and compassion and understanding and like sympathy towards Patch Adams, who just goes back to hiding behind the tree. And Philip Hoffman like shakes his head because to me, I'm recalling again, Philip Seymour Hoffman, excellent in this movie, excellent actor.
Hoffman killing it.
Because to me, it immediately made me remember the scene where he's like, "You don't have what it takes.
Yep. Oh wow. Yeah, Vic, he doesn't have what it takes.
You don't." And Philip Seymour Hoffman knew because there he is, not having what it takes to sit there and look into the face of a mother who's lost her child and be like, "I'm so sorry. There was nothing we could do." Which is
Hoffman
basically
knew.
Hoffman wasn't even involved in this, and he showed up to be supportive because he actually does have what it takes to be compassionate when it's fucking shit. Like, yeah, like you can be there when everybody's joking, and he can hold the hands of these elderly people when they're dying, but you can't show up and be there for this girl's funeral that you fucking caused. You don't have what it takes.
I'm gonna get a tattoo that says Hoffman knew.
Hoffman knew. The Hoffman knew, and the Hoffman was compassionate even to Patch Adams in that moment because he's
He's the best character. The
the
movie
best
should be about
character.
him.
God, it's just upsetting. And then we have to have, you know, now he's throwing the little temper tantrum. He's dramatically packing all his shit into a bag, like
Mm-hmm.
throwing stuff around, like, I quit. I'm done.
Which I was like, thank God. Get out of our lives, Patch Adams. He says a line that as a ex biologist, I really hate it.
Oh, I
And
thought this
I
would
don't think you
upset. I thought this would upset us all.
yeah, you don't need to be a biologist to know this is complete bullshit when Patch says only human beings kill their own species. Like, no, dude. We all know that animals kill each other all the time. Ants have battles, they kill each other.
Ants, chimpanzees, like most animals that have a social structure have like wars where they go, like they essentially battle their own kind for territory.
We're in Florida, gators eat each other.
Yeah, like most animals will kill like any young that isn't their own. Like they'll kill,
Lions.
yeah, lions.
Anyone's who's seen The Lion King knows this isn't true. You guys all know it.
It's so dumb. And that's his like response to Truman being like, you can't just, you're so, which is so upsetting because that bullshit was like, only humans, there's a fact for your exams. Meanwhile,
Dumbass.
Truman is like, what you're doing is self indulgent. Like, Truman calls this little tantrum self indulgent. And it's like, yes, that's correct. And then he's like, only humans kill their own kind. And you're supposed to be good at med school? I'm sorry. What? You didn't cover enough biology to know that that's not true? You've never been outside? Like birds will shove their own siblings out of their nests to be the only one in the nest. The fuck are you talking about?
Yep.
Anyway,
Yep. It is more evidence that Patch Adams was probably cheating through this whole thing. He goes after this, he goes to that cliff and he's talking about jumping, and I wrote, just fucking do it.
God.
Just fucking
God.
jump and end this movie. Guys, this is at like an hour and 40 minutes. I was ready for this movie to be over. And he
Yeah.
is contemplating jumping, and I'm fucking on board. Do it.
The thing that bothers me too is they can't even have the right message here in this moment because he gets,
What was the right message?
well, so storyline in my
Succinctly, please.
he gets to the edge of the cliff and he's talking to God, and then he tells God, you're not worth it. Like as if God was waiting for him to join him in heaven or some weird shit. Like what does it matter to God? Like what do you mean it's not, you're not worth it to God? Then he
I
turns
think he's just
around,
saying he's not going to let God get him down.
I guess. Like he turns around already having decided that he's going to continue living and not commit suicide. And then he sees a butterfly.
Yes. We didn't say during Corinne's scene about her horrible childhood, she said she wished she were a caterpillar because
Mm-hmm.
they got to change.
And leave everything that had affected them before.
So a butterfly lands on him, and it's almost like the butterfly's rubbing him like, it's okay, Patch, that you killed me. You were still right.
I wish that the butterfly had been what caused him to turn around on the cliff, is my
That
point.
would have been better,
It would have been better, but it's not.
but it's
What he
more like it's reassuring him that he's doing the right thing. It's
mm-hmm,
Corinne in
mm-hmm.
butterfly form telling him, you were right, even if I got murdered.
I'll say that the effects of the butterfly are realistic. I mean it's a
Okay.
sad pity point, but
All right, we'll give that to him. It was a
oh
realistic butterfly. I believed it.
yeah, I'll give you that.
All right, let's wrap this shit up, Vic. We get to the courthouse. Patch Adams is being
No,
he's
you're
being fired.
skipping you're
Come
skipping
on.
the only part you remembered.
That
We're skipping the only part you remembered, which
happens
is
before the court martial or
yes,
whatever. Oh, okay.
yes, because
All right, we got to
Philip
do this part.
Philip Seymour
Oh,
Hoffman is like, I can't do this because I can diagnose my patients, but I can't connect with them. And
he's reached the limits of science with this old woman.
she won't eat.
She will not eat.
Yeah,
Hoffman sells it. It's still stupid, but
it's dumb. So Patch, having remembered that he once spoke to this old lady, devises this surprise for her, which is
yes,
the only thing you remembered from the
this
whole
is the big
film.
scene. We get a noodle bath.
The pool.
That's it, right? We drag this old woman out of the hospital, and Patch Adams has a whole outdoor pool filled, above ground pool
Above ground pool.
filled with noodles. And I will say the look of joy on that old lady's face, I did like.
Oh, she
She
was having
she
a good time.
she sells
That's not acting.
it. She probably was excited to get in there.
That's the best day. That actual woman, that was the best day of her life. She
Did
was
you
having a good time.
recognize her, Vic? The actor?
No. Who is she?
She is the rapping granny from The Wedding Singer. Hip
Oh,
hop, the hippity did a hop.
I didn't realize that. When did that movie come out?
The 90s.
Yeah, this
I'd
woman.
say probably around the same time.
Yeah. So I
One
was
of the
like,
later
didn't
ones.
think she would have survived long enough to make another film,
Jesus,
but
Vic.
she's very old.
Gotten those
Um,
noodles. Healthy enough to do that.
she got in the noodles. They revived her.
But yep, we this is peak swell, or well, maybe not peak. The ending is probably the peak, but we get a lot of music and a lot of cutaways to smiles. Patch is
Mm-hmm.
back, baby, and he's doing what he does best.
Yeah, it's presumably like a day or
Lowbrow
two
comedy.
later. It's presumably like a day or two later, and he's over the
All
death
right.
of his
So yeah,
girlfriend.
we forget about Corinne. She's dead. We gotta move on.
We've got to move on.
And now we gotta once again, it's goddamn Dean,
Mm-hmm.
Patch has got it all figured out, and the Dean just keeps getting his way. This time, it's for real.
Yeah,
We're
he's
firing you from doctor school.
properly expelled.
Yes.
Uh, and now he goes to Hoffman because Hoffman's the only one who's like smart enough to know, like, to give him any advice about like
Again, yeah, I thought Patch was brilliant, but yeah, he needs help from
you should
Hoffman.
probably, take it up with this health board, like because your grades are good.
You can
Um,
argue what he says. You can argue against being expelled. So,
yeah.
so we cut to a giant courthouse with pillars. Two. It's got an upper deck for seating. We got
Mm-hmm.
balcony seats in this courthouse,
It's
full of
actually a pretty
people.
standard old timey courthouse because you'd
Oh, I've
have.
never been to one. I haven't been accused of anything yet.
Yes. Just wink at me on this podcast.
No, I
They
didn't.
can't.
No, I didn't, listeners. I didn't wink.
They can't tell you just winked at me, Jake. We're not going to go into it because I too don't want you to go to jail. Um, but now I'm suspicious.
Patch
Uh,
is it's Patch on trial right now, not me.
not you.
And this is the shittiest part of the movie by far. He gives a big dumb speech that doesn't make any sense. The guys are accusing him of practicing medicine without a license. And we
Which,
have seen is 100% true.
yeah,
He gives a meander. This is supposed to be the inspirational moment where he convinces us all he's been right the whole time. We're wrong. And all he says is, what does he say, Mick? He says it's like, is it practicing medicine to give a person a smile or some bullshit
he's
like
like
that?
he's trying to make some sort of unbelievably pedantic argument that
Mm-hmm.
everyone who comes to the clinic is a patient and a doctor, that everyone's a doctor, and that, like, as if doctor, and he's like, when did doctor become some high and lofty title? I don't know, man. Maybe when you started being required to have a medical license to say it. It's not the same fucking thing. It's and he's trying to make it sound like we all help and heal each other. Is it not helping to heal someone by preparing them food or cleaning up the rooms? Like, as if these patients are somehow paying off their medical expenses by like doing work around this
Is that
compound
what he
they've
says?
made.
That we made him do chores for him?
Yeah, that's what he's implying is that everyone who goes there helps. Everyone who goes there assists in the medical care of everyone else. And in that way, everyone is a doctor. And it's like practicing medicine without a license is a fucking third degree felony, my guy.
Yeah,
It's
no, it's
a
bad.
felony. It's not a joke. In fact, it wouldn't be up to a medical board. You'd be in prison. You'd be in front of a judge with a jury being like, did you present yourself as a doctor to all of these people who came to you for care? Yes.
Yeah, it's
But
what?
weren't they also doctors? No,
Mm-hmm.
no, they weren't. Because that's like a defined title that requires education and a license. I insane. Insane.
They the writing in this movie, guys, is so shitty. They don't even give him a good speech to prove he's right. Like he was practicing medicine in that clinic. Like he was treating that Truman says, I got a guy with a broken arm. I got to give him a splint with a belt because we don't have supplies. Like, this is the definition of bad health malpractice.
Well, and part of it too is because they never give us these scenes with any of the people besides just these reaction shots, like these cutaway reactions. We don't have this history of like, did these people all know that Patch and the others didn't have medical licenses and still came to seek out his care anyway?
Well,
Like,
I
did
think
it?
they were there for the comedy.
I mean, but it's just like, yeah, it's just like you don't
You get
have
pretty shitty treatment, but you get a good show.
get a good show. I mean, how is that not
He should
addressed?
he should be clapped in. If I were there, I would have had him clapped in irons.
He's not being suspended or being expelled because he's too happy all the time. He's being expelled because he lied about being a doctor to patients and gave them medical treatment, having not even finished second year medical school.
Actually, I wrote this down. I think Hoffman says, or I forget if Patch says it or Hoffman says it. Someone says it's just a personality clash before they go to that trial. And then they get there, and one of the guys says, practicing medicine without a license. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little more than a personality clash with the dean guy. Those are real charges.
Well, and I wish that at some point, like, because in my mind, what I was looking for is like him to make some sort of reference or for something in the movie to reference the fact that because of this clinic, because they had no protocols, this woman died
They don't mention that, do they?
at all. Like it's as if, and they have this shot at the end that pans through some of the like the patients cheering for him, like, oh, you helped us so much. And it's like,
Yeah,
it
kids are
wasn't,
there. Or no, they're not there.
no, they are. The kids are there. The kids are
Kids are
all
there.
there. And it's really aggravating to me because it completely.
Were they selling seats for this trial? Like, how did everybody get in here?
Okay, so like just again, if you knew about the courtroom
Oh
structure of
shit!
courtrooms,
Right, you know all
it
about it.
it used to be that the downstairs, so the upstairs, that like gallery used to be for people from the public could come and watch. So they wouldn't
Oh,
have been on the downstairs, which they are depicted in this one. But in
wrong.
old time courtrooms, you would have had like victims and victims' families and people associated with the trial would have been in the seats on the first floor or other attorneys. But people from the general public could have come to the second floor or the press. So they're kind of
We
not.
gotta do a courtroom movie.
God, I love watching
My
courtroom
cousin Vinny.
dramas.
It...
Oh, it's so good. So good.
All right,
Much better than this.
let's just end
Just
this.
end this.
So they fucking are moved by this incredibly beyond our comprehension. These guys are moved by this speech and they say, not guilty, Patch Adams. You can keep on studying, of course, because he's not a doctor yet. This
Everyone stands. He gets a standing ovation.
standing O
Everyone
from
cheers.
everybody. Cut to graduation.
Yep.
What do we get at the graduation, Vic? You've been counting them.
It's the second one. I wish there'd been more. I thought there were going to be more now that you were like, count them. And I was like, oh, I will, because I definitely made a note of it. And then it's like, nope, just two. It's a butt. We get a butt. We get Robin
Well,
Williams,
four
Harry Butt.
buns, two butts.
Yeah.
I saw you do the math in your head. That was that pause.
Yeah.
That checks out.
That checks out. And he moons everybody. I actually would have expected it to be hairier. Robin
I
Williams,
bet you it wasn't him.
I bet it wasn't, because if you've ever seen a shot of Robin Williams's like back, he's ludicrously hairy.
Yes,
So
we
like that
all know
butt,
how hairy. And yeah,
I think
not
it
a
was a
hairy butt.
stunt butt. I think it was a
Definitely.
stunt
Now that
butt.
you say that, you're right. But what are we talking about? You didn't say what we were talking about.
He he's cut he's cut the back of his graduation gown like a hospital gown so that
Yeah.
his butt is out, and when he like takes a bow basically to everybody.
Then he walks down the aisle so everyone can see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't care if kids are in the audience or anything. It's important that he makes this joke.
I'm gonna ask a question. I have a
Go ahead.
question.
To me?
Okay. Yeah, I guess. So the thing is, I have
Have I
only
ever
ever
done this?
seen
No.
no, no. I think I've come to the realization that in real life I've only ever seen girls moon people. Um, and so they don't have balls that would hang out from the bottom. When dudes moon, do you see their balls? That like have you ever been mooned by a dude, and can you see the back of the testes?
Jesus, Vic. No, you usually don't. You would have to be doing. This is the problem. I'll explain the science of this
Can
to you.
we have like a breakdown?
So when you're mooning someone, you're only pulling your pants part way down, hopefully. You would have to spread your legs apart and as you moon to get any uh
Ball.
to get the fruit bowl there.
Well, because he's not wearing any pants at all.
So he would have to spread his legs
Standing more
and
akimbo.
then bend over.
If he had stood legs akimbo and bent over,
But
then
I
you
would
would
have
have.
to say 90% of the time a moon,
Okay.
you're not seeing the meat and potatoes down there.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because I just came to this realization that you couldn't see his balls. And I didn't know if that was
And you
because it was a prosthetic
was
butt,
that
or if
scientifically accurate?
or if because men, the balls are tucked up and away
No, you'd
during
have
a
to be
mooning.
really getting into it for that to happen.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. I see that your time in biology has been very helpful.
Yes, I used to be a scientist.
Yeah. And this is what it's come to.
Now I'm explaining mooning.
I've only ever seen girls moon. I went to an all girls summer camp. Mooning happened.
Honestly, I've hardly seen any mooning. I maybe once. It's not as I think that's another Hollywood thing, and this doesn't happen
Oh.
as much as you think.
See, when I was at summer camp, Mulan came out, and the song "The Dark Side
More
of the
like
Moon."
Moonlawn. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying? More
well,
like
because
Moonlawn.
we'd all sing the "Let's Get Down to Business," the "Be a Man" song, and at the end of that, it's like mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Then we'd moon
Whoa,
because it's funny.
it's pretty funny.
It's pretty funny. He says, um, "Let's end this. There's so
All
little left.
right. So I think that's it, right? We get the fucking post credits with the message this is all true and the
They're gonna
Gesundheit.
the Gesundheit Institute." And because I am sort of more aware about healthcare legislation than I wish I was, I felt like I had to look this up, because I was like, I wonder if in 2010 it had to shut down or if it's still running. Um, it never fucking got off the ground.
It didn't?
No. So the Gesundheit Institute was sort of like this idea of a like hospital that Patch Adams had, and he sort of got it started as like a little shack clinic. But then they stopped that to exclusively fundraise because they needed a hospital. Like they basically couldn't continue to treat patients. But he didn't do any of this while he was in med school. He didn't do
Oh,
any of this until he had
I
a
had a
license.
feeling. I had a feeling this wasn't all in med school.
No, because it's a fucking felony. It was a felony even in the 60s. It's not a joke. So he didn't do any of this while he was in school. He did start the institute after some like he had achieved some fame in like different fellowships and uh sort of like research for changing hospital protocols and things, like something much more reasonable. He started sort of like this clinic, but they only ran it for like what appears to be maybe like from the 60s to the early 80s, like about 10 years. before they sort of shut it down to do these outreach programs and try and raise money for a hospital. Um, and they've been raising money ever since,
Oh, great.
never having built it. I mean, I think they do programs and things, so I'm assuming the money they raise hasn't just been
Oh, that's what I
accumulating.
thought you meant. Did you mean they were raising money for a clinic that'll never be built?
Well, but that's when you go to their website, that's what it looks like because
Oh, they're still trying.
they show this like really like Gaudi-esque avant-garde building they want to build, but it's just like a sketch and they've been
Oh,
raising money like since the 80s, which it's like this is a long fucking time to still be raising money. I'm assuming it's basically impossible for them to open it now with the current healthcare laws because again,
right.
doctor-owned hospitals are very difficult to operate. And I'm pretty sure the only ones that are still operating are ones that were grandfathered in. Anyway, it sucks. Uh, I hated it. I hated it.
You hated this movie.
I did.
I hated it too. Uh, some of my trivia, I'll say, I got no beef with the real Patch Adams. I think this was a real hack job that they did on his life. Hollywood making this movie. Patch Adams does not like this movie, and that makes me respect him so much more.
When I was looking at that too, he said that one of the things was that their fundraising campaign got like seriously damaged by this movie. So the movie did raise the money, but then because they threw in that thing as if it was open, people stopped donating to them,
Oh,
believing it was a functioning hospital, not something that they were trying to open.
yeah. So this is what the guy's mission really was. And the amount of time spent on it is 30 seconds in this movie. It is the diner scene we were talking about where those waitresses and the people working there are saying they can't get health care.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the clinic is about. It's not about some fucking clown hospital where everyone's wearing red noses and doing somersaults and joking and healing you with jokes. It was about getting people free health care so that they
Mm-hmm.
would live and not die from and being completely smothered by medical bills. That was his actual mission. He also pushed, being more familiar with your patients and less clinical, at least with talking with them and stuff. But his main mission was not let's be clowns all the time. And he hates that that's what this movie's about.
I don't know. It's not a good message. I'm really not crazy about the way they depict the mentally ill in this.
Oh, those guys were there, by the way, at the graduation ceremony.
Yup.
Somehow Patch got them out
Well,
to
they're
be in this.
better now. They're
Oh, that's
healed.
right. He killed them. I forgot.
He
He
healed
cured them.
them. Like, which is also kind of like part of this sort of dismissing of like both depression, like another sort of uncomfortable thing that this movie seems to promote is that mental illness and depression can be healed by just, why don't you just lighten up? Why don't you just have some fun? It's like, what is the message in this that like you can be cured through laughter? No.
Honestly, it turns into more just a movie about a guy who knows what's best for everyone, and you better listen to him. Like, they don't even go into the
Yeah.
comedy that much with healing people. It's a few
Yeah.
montages. I got some trivia for you.
Oh, tell me your trivia.
The critic Roger Ebert wrote a review of this movie. He called it shameless. It's not merely a tearjerker. It extracts tears individually by liposuction without anesthesia. And then he said that at an event, he saw the real Patch Adams at this event and he avoided him through the whole thing. And then at the end, Patch Adams like patted him on the shoulder and said, I agreed with every word of your loathsome review about my film.
Oh my god.
But
That's
Patch Adams got it.
amazing. Yeah, I I just feel like this movie it took a true story and it did everything that Hollywood does wrong.
Yeah, that's really the lesson of the here is this guy's story is probably great, but Hollywood in the 90s just twisted it into something that they thought it should be, and it's bad,
Well,
man.
and it doesn't do right by anybody because it doesn't even do right by Robin Williams, who is admittedly one of the greatest comedians of all time.
Guys.
Like
All right,
he's
let's get into the final segment of the show.
let's do it.
It's time for Check Your Baggage. Everyone's favorite part.
Yeah.
Well, I think I know the answer, but Vic, do you have any baggage from this
Yes.
movie? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, I have a lot of baggage from this movie. I have a lot of baggage. And I think because it was funny when we brought up doing this movie, your exclusive and sole memory of this was the scene in the spaghetti, which doesn't come until almost the end of the movie
Yep.
and is like maybe 20 seconds.
I like that part. Kind of.
It's rough. I should not have watched this movie when I was 10.
No, no
That
one
is
should have.
way too young to watch this movie. But I definitely saw this movie in theaters. And I genuinely think that based on the marketing, my parents thought it was going to be basically like Mrs. Doubtfire, some sort of medical comedy. And that is not what this movie is at all. But again, I feel like what gave me trauma from this movie is sort of, well, one, I really didn't. Apparently, I was very afraid to get shots in my butt. Um,
Yep.
because this movie shows two huge men holding a man down and then injecting him with a comically large syringe. But also, I think that this movie gives this super shitty message, which is like, like that whole scene with the woman dying. The thing that's really scary about that to me is like she went there to help somebody who is asking for help, who needed help. She went there to try and do good and follow what she believed in. And she was murdered for it. Like, that's what strangers can do to you. They can murder you while you're trying to help them. And then you're forgotten. Like, you're not even a pivotal part of this movie. You're just like a stepping stone for the hero to reaffirm that he was right all along. Like it's just it's just kind of fucked up. Like and I remember as a kid not thinking that Patch Adams was wrong, like cuz they he's the hero. He's the hero of this story. But I remembered this movie as being sad and upsetting, and as an adult I think it's even more upsetting than I could pin it as a kid. So yeah, I think I've got some baggage. Ugh. What about you, Jake?
Well, as a kid, it's hard to say. Like I said, only remembered Noodle Pool.
Noodle pool.
But when the that scene with her answering the phone and my stomach sank, that must
Mm-hmm.
have hung with me. Because
Yeah.
I immediately knew, oh shit, I think she dies right now.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that probably did leave a lasting effect of I don't know, just sad, sad thing to happen to a woman who had this made up woman who had a horrible life and was bothered by Patch Adams until she died. And that is very sad. And here's a new category. I now have baggage from watching it as an adult, and I will probably carry that forever. Because, guys, this was a miserable 2 hours. And if people are watching the movies ahead of time, I am sorry you did that. You do not need to see that. Just listen to us talk about it. It is 2 hours long, and it is it's basically a shitty Robin Williams stand-up routine where all the conflict is just one or two hecklers breaking up the jokes. That Dean is a heckler.
It's a slog.
It
It's a
is a
slog. And
slog.
it's not even like again, it's not the best of it's not like good stand up. It's not
No, it's mediocre to shitty stand-up for 2 straight hours. You get your cervix jokes in, you get your fucking proctology jokes in. Like it's literally like listening to your your least funny uncle go on for 2 straight hours about doctor jokes.
and then anytime you try and check in on like, oh, well, what's really happening in this scene? Like, what's the reality of what's going on with the plot? You're like, oh my God, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone let this man continue? It
Stop
just,
this man. Somebody stop him. We're all yelling. But
it
no,
just,
he's the hero, guys. He was right. Is what we're supposed to believe.
he
No.
was right all along, despite the fact that if he'd just left this woman alone, she would be alive today, probably practicing medicine with, you know,
She would have been one of the first, probably one of the first female doctors to do something incredible.
well, I mean, and she brings up this point, which is just a throwaway of like why she's an overachieving bitch, which is that like she's like, did you see how many women were in our entire grade? There's 6 of us. Like, let me focus. Like, none of us, like, women don't get into this field. And that is just seen as like, oh, this is why she's like a stone cold bitch because women just trying to get into men's fields. Like, I don't understand how you kind of touch on these points as a movie and then just throw it off as like, and that's why we're just going to have to badger her until she's beaten down and accepts our boy and like says yes. Just badger her until she says yes. And then, despite the fact that he's the reason she dies, he's still going to get a standing ovation for practicing medicine without a license, and it's all good. I hate it.
I hate it too.
Uh,
Let's end on a positive note. I'm going to say, guys, if you're having mental issues out there, just come on down to Sarasota and do improv with us. We'll help you cure it.
we'll yes and your imaginary squirrels.
We'll yes and your imaginary squirrels. Well, I think that's going to do it for us, Vic.
I love it.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, everyone. Thanks for listening to another episode of Movie Baggage. Me and Vic tried to put our idea into practice and hosted an improv workshop for the criminally insane. Didn't go super well. And now I'm being sued for malpractice, which I don't think is fair. But don't worry, we're still going to put out another episode. And our next episode will be The Addams Family. See you then. Bye.